weekend, but
I'll be watching the opening weekend.
I only like cheating.
I only like Venom when it comes towards like him being a Spider-Man. I don't know nothing about him other than like him being Spider-Man. So like that's why I'm not into comic books or whatever you call them like that.
That's fucking funny as shit. James McAvoy is
man.
all like, I'll play young Picard, and I'm like, sound about right.
I feel it. We just started We Lit Baby DMV fan. Oh man. Yeah, I started the podcast
Bruh.
right now. Just
Yo.
like Century would.
What's going on?
I just had to Century. So I guess we'll start now. So what is up, guys? This is the Overleveled podcast, episode 45. We have two guests here, and TLoU will be coming in later. I don't know how late. It could be towards the ending. I have no idea. I don't have control in what time this man will come through.
Excuse you, I'm not a guest anymore. Oh man.
Oh no! Well, wait, are you a regular member now?
Oh man, I took my seat, dog.
You took the seat.
Oh man.
You mean you made a seat? Because you ain't had one before.
No. Oh man, I'm a colonizer. I colonized this podcast.
Huh?
I don't know what.
I'm done. Let's move on, dog.
All right. And we also got Sentry and Marvel DC fan.
Wait a minute. Marvel DC fan's name should have went first. He's an actual member. What is going on?
Marvel DC fan comes through, man, all the time. But Inspector couldn't be here. He messaged me on Twitter around Saturday, so he'll be back next week. So I have no idea. He just, he told me ahead of time, and I was like, all right, that's fine. So we got a couple topics, not like anything like a lot, like staggering amount, but a decent amount of topics. We have some crossplay, a lot of Telltale stuff. Last of Us, as well as Fallout Xbox, with their fest thing they're doing, and Devil May Cry 5 controversy. But I guess we could talk about the biggest thing that I guess hit the internet, social media, was that PlayStation announced that they're going to be doing crossplay. Right now it's in beta with Fortnite. But all the gamers wanted it. I could care less. I've always stated this in many of the podcasts. For me, I just never been the one to... I wasn't the one complaining. I wasn't the one asking for it. I don't mind either way. That's how I felt. Because I just don't play most of my online games on my PlayStation. I don't. I usually do with the PC. But if it's like a fighting game that requires me to play on PlayStation or something like that, then I'll play it for 1 month or less than a month, or someone just gives me, that PS Plus. But yeah, I guess that's me, because we talked about this so many times, but they finally did it, and this was for many reasons, which we'll go into later after this topic, because somebody basically laid out what was going to be happening in around this time frame and for this year, and they've been getting it right so far. They got 2 out of 3, and we'll talk more about it after. But my man Jago, what do you think about this?
Wait, what we talking about now? Man, what's that?
What's that?
You mean that thing that PlayStation should have had from the beginning, but now they just trying to do it? Oh man. No, I'm joking, because I know most PlayStation gamers will play, but how many games does PlayStation have to cross-play to Xbox? We got double more and all this. I don't care, bro. I mean, it's good that they're doing it, but it's it's not really a big deal.
No,
it's something that every game that is multi-platform should do. That's multiplayer based, so it's keeps your game alive when one platform kind of dies out. It's people can still play because it's 2 other platforms they're playing with. So yeah, it's a good thing.
Yeah, and just for me, it's I've never been the one to avidly go be oh, Sony, you need this, or it's I've been in this neutral state where I'm just I'm just looking, seeing what people are saying, and it's I personally knew that they're, and I said this in previous episodes, that they needed to, for me, thinking big publishers will be on their necks to just say hey, we're going to have our games cross-play. So you're going to have to, you know, integrate these rules in. And I was thinking it was going to happen around the PS5 generation. I didn't think it was going to happen this generation. And I took the L on that one. I honestly thought crossplay that they would, you know, do crossplay by PlayStation 5 generation and not now. Which we'll go more into that report that someone put out as to why they're doing it. But Senchi, what do you think?
Man, hold on. Let me. Congratulations, Sony. They really out here did crossplay. We proud. I don't really care.
Yeah.
I really care the fuck less. Like, I'm gonna keep it real. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you and pretend like, oh, it's like cool, whatever. It's a cool feature to have. But are we really? This is what we really died on the hill for: crossplay, not cross progression, but fucking crossplay.
I mean, cross progression. I never see that happening.
No, it's possible to happen. If fucking Street Fighter V has it, then there. Like, this is my thing. There should be no reason as to why cross progression isn't the thing. That would be the hill to die on. That would be.
No, you're talking about what's those things called? Booty boxes. Those things to die for, bro. Get rid of that shit.
I'm gonna stub your toe when I meet you. But like, bro, there's no. And you guys can tell me if I'm wrong for feelings. It's like, I don't really give a fuck about crossplay when in the long run, most devs don't give a fuck and will never use it. Let's be honest. Unless every dev that has a multiplayer game is going to take advantage of this feature means nothing.
Yeah, but that's why we got to put pressure on them to do it.
Putting pressure on someone doesn't make... This is what it did. It accelerated the process, yes. But it doesn't change the fact that devs don't have to use the feature. That's the whole reason I didn't give a fuck. They don't have to do something they don't want to do, right?
And if they don't do it, we don't buy their game. I mean, most gamers are not going to do that because they're a bunch of...
Here's my thing. You can't... Here's my thing. No, go ahead, Jigga. Get your thought out. My bad.
I feel like we need to stand up for this because it's like, there's going to be a time where you want to play a game and it's dead on your platform. And it's like, what you going to do? Go and buy it on another platform? Like, you know, if it's cross-play, then you can play and hopefully like it pulls the people together that's still playing the game. You can get a game or two in. Like, that's what I'm saying.
No, but I'm not defending the practice of blocking it. That's whatever. I don't care. I don't think anyone should block crossplay. I'm just of the mindset of this. If we're dying on the hill for crossplay, then we should be dying on the hill for a lot of other shit that people will claim that they don't want to die on the fucking hill for it. If we're dying on the hill for this, then you have to keep that same energy and die on the hill for everything damn else. That's all I gotta say.
That's true. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about PlayStation enabling crossplay?
The only thing that is needed to be said from me is what I said the last time we talked about crossplay, which is it's a cool feature. It's just not a feature that I'm personally interested in. Like, if you're one of the 3 people who wants to play Fortnite on your Vita, then go ahead. But like, I don't care. So.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel you. I guess now we could also say, because Sony now did crossplay, a lot of the rabid fanboys on Nintendo side, Xbox side can't say anything now. The only thing that needs to be said now is Xbox. When are you going to get rid of your gold for free-to-play games? Is that going to happen?
Never.
Keep the same energy here, right? Is that going to happen?
Nah, it ain't, dog. You bugging.
It's not.
Bro, this is the thing. And I can go back. This is the thing. And Michael Pachter back a couple years ago said this. He talked to people at Microsoft, executives. He said, why would we give up people giving us free money? Remember, this is the same Microsoft that on 3 separate motherfucking occasions tried to charge PC gamers to pay them online. Who in their right mind, like, they're not giving up free income. That's free profit. That make him, like, literally, I'm giving you money to pay on the internet that you already pay money to the fucking ISP for so you can play online. The reason Sony did this is because they were losing money on it. Same with Nintendo, but Nintendo's a whole different story of bullshit we could talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even, like, they're not going to do it, no matter how much you ask. They're not going to do it. If they do, I'll be surprised, and I'll come back on the podcast and say I was wrong. Cool, that's cool with me. But are we really gonna sit here and say, okay, now we want you to drop the paywall? If it's a specific part like free to play, sure, they could probably do that. But people calling for a full drop to fucking, oh, you have to use gold to do this or fucking PS Plus to do that, it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah, and what I was saying is, like, you know, besides, you know, the free to play games, I know a lot of the I don't know what you want to call them, the knights in shining armor, so to speak. They're like, yes, if we can take down loot boxes, if we can take down, you know, the wall that separated crossplay, we can take down the online infrastructure that is PS Plus, Nintendo Online required subscription, and Xbox Live Gold, right? I've seen that, and I'm just like, that's impossible. Like, I don't understand how you can go from like loot boxes and crossplay to something that makes Microsoft, Sony, and now Nintendo a lot of money. Like, that is essentially for them, like you said, like free income, and they're getting a lot of money for it. And Nintendo is a different thing altogether, because I just don't agree with a lot of their online infrastructure and aspects to it, and that's why if I were to invest in it, I wouldn't. It's just a lot of things I don't care for that Nintendo's doing for the apps and stuff. And then, like, I don't even have PS Plus, so it's like, if I were to, it's like mostly I would go with PS Plus instead of you know, Nintendo's online infrastructure. But what do you think, Jigga, about, you know, people online thinking that they can take down the PS Plus online and Xbox Gold online?
The only way they would do that is if everybody would specifically come out and say, we're not going to buy the PS5 when it comes out, and when the PS5 actually comes out, they don't buy it. That's the only thing that that may get Sony to go and Microsoft to go back on that. Like, they say when new consoles come out, we're not going to buy them, and actually stick to that and don't buy them.
Yeah, that's impossible.
Other than that, it's like, dog, hey, you better build your PC, dog. That's all.
And we know how people feel about PCs, because, you know, shut the fuck up, please.
Yeah, it's like you're talking about people voting for their wads and not buying consoles for the games that they like, the franchises that they like. That's impossible.
But I hate to take it this far, but it's like, didn't you think when people boycotting buses, like, oh man, I would really like to be on that bus going somewhere, but it's like, no, when you really feel like you're not being done right, you gotta take the L.
Mm-hmm. Like, you just gotta hold it, and maybe something happens. It's like, and Jigga knows I don't agree with boycotting certain things at all, because it makes no sense to do.
Yeah, I understand Jigga's like point of view, like with the bus thing. It's like, that to me is a totally different thing. That, like, that's something willing to fight for.
It's a different realm, but at the same time, it's like,
as a metaphor, it makes sense though.
Yeah, as a metaphor, it makes sense. But like, if you compare, like, in terms of literal sense, like no one's going to like boycott.
No, we know, but that's the problem with like the culture of doing this. To me, either you can't choose when you want to die on the hill. Once you die on the hill, once you have to die on every hill from there on out. You can't pick and choose that.
And these people, like, well, we're talking about the like gamer juice warriors or the Knights in Shining Armor.
I'm gonna just call the motherfuckers the Crusaders.
The Crusaders that
motherfuckers going
fight our battles that we don't want fought, really, to be honest. Like, I just think that these guys are kind of funny, because like, dude, I love their personalities, but like, in terms of them saying boycott this, boycott that, they're totally fine with having somebody donate a system to them and stuff like that. It's like you're still supporting them.
Yeah, somebody
is buying that, and you're saying, "Oh, but I'm voting with my wallet and I'm not paying for it," but somebody else is paying in your place.
Like when they said
Warframe.
Like a certain person said that they would not buy games that had loot boxes in them, but there's one game that's Cyberpunk. If it had loot boxes in them, oh yeah, I would still buy that. And it's like, dog, you got it down that hill, bro.
No, bro, it's like if that's the case, it invalidates your entire argument that you fought to that point. You just invalidated all the progress you made.
Like exception. It's like Quake. It's like loot boxes, and you're like loot boxes. Ew. It's just cosmetics. It's like, wait, it's still loot boxes.
It's still loot boxes at that point. It doesn't matter if they're cosmetic. Still fucking loot boxes. You playing that shit or not?
And it's just funny because then the narrative changed. Oh well, it's cosmetics. It's fine. It's like you can't just say it's not fine for a lot of majority of these games, but you're saying it's fine now just because it's cosmetics.
Man, I kind of agree with that though. Like cosmetic are like. For like free to play games, yes, that's okay. But if I'm paying $60, no, get the fuck out of with that cosmetic shit, bro.
I don't know. I just think it's the narrative changes too much.
Well, because free to play games got to make money somehow, so it's like paying for cosmetics. I'm okay with that. But if I'm paying $60 for your game, then you still want to like hide other things behind paywalls, like get out of here, bro.
I gotcha. Marvel DC fan, what do you think about these people trying to break down the infrastructure and boycott and take down the Sony PS Plus, Xbox, Gold, as well as the Nintendo Switch Online?
I really believe that like it just won't work. And somebody mentioned if like say someone boycotts it, there's always another person that will buy it just because of whatever. Like there's always going to be people to buy it because there's always like an incentive to buy it, whether you're playing with your friends online or certain deals or free games or something like that. There's always going to be that, and there's always going to be people who will always buy that because they want free stuff. So,
yeah, I agree with that.
I know people like they don't like the pay to play sort of way, and I to a certain extent don't like it, but I just feel like we've gotten so deep that it's just not going to go away.
Yeah, makes sense.
Like I don't buy VC in 2K, but it's like so many people are just buying hella VC, so it's like that's a lost fight, bro.
Yeah, but what do you think about the microtransactions and people saying that you need to boycott a game and not play it?
I feel like we need to though. 2K need to be boycotted, bro.
It does, Jacob. The reason that's so bad, and like this is my thing, I have accepted on the level of this. Microtransactions are not going away. They are a necessary evil at this point because if we were to actually pay the prices that games need to be, games would be over $100, and no one wants to do that.
Mm.
So we have to pay the price of certain things have to happen. Now, if we're gonna fight on the subject of how it should work, microtransactions should only be cosmetic. They shouldn't be in loot boxes. You should just be direct buy $2-3, however much you do, or based off of how much work you do to the skin or whatever you're doing. That's how it should work, in my opinion. However, with 2K, they have done something where they handicap your progress unless you buy VC, or in order to get to this certain score, you need to buy VC. The system is built around that. That's a problem. I agree with that. But if we're going out here and just saying everything needs to die, that's not going to work. You can't turn everything into ash in this case and think that's fine, because it just doesn't. It won't work that way, and it's going to bite you in your ass more than it will help.
I've been grinding. I still having my characters like at 83, and that's because I want. Like if I bought VC, I could probably be at like 86, 88. But because I won't buy it, and I'm trying to grind for my, it's so slow, and it just makes me. It gets you annoying. It's like, man, they are really fucking hamstringing people out here, just taking all your money, bro. And I hate people who buy it. It's like, dog, just grind, bro.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, it's like these YouTubers, it's like, am I really going to grind for 3 characters? No, I'm just going to pay that money and get that VC. It's like, I'm not mad at them because it's like, it's kind of their job to have all the characters, but at the same time, it's like, I fucking hate them.
What's this for, Destiny 2?
No. It's for, we were just talking about microtransactions in general for like 2K and
okay.
I guess we can do a segue for like Devil May Cry 5 because that's been such a big, such a big topic at hand. A lot of Crusaders are about it. I guess we could call them Crusaders, or about it. I'll go into it really quick, and it's kind of like been found out that Devil May Cry 5 is going to have the same like legit exact microtransactions that Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition had. And so I'll quickly read this real quick. So supposedly fans have been able to play DMC 5 at TGS 2018 this week, which led to like GameSpot to notice that players can pay real world money to purchase the series in-game currency red orbs. The orbs, which traditionally are never abundant enough to unlock absolutely everything, are used to purchase upgrades to weapons, new moves, and one-off consumables. And this is also trying to say that you would have to play in like all the series. You couldn't get all the moves at one go. That you had to replay it. You had to grind. And that's what the series is about, right? And it says when asked why these were being included, the microtransactions, series director Hidaki Itsuno said it was all about player choice. With giving people the ability to purchase red orbs is something we want to give people as an option. If they want to save time and just want to get all the stuff at once, those people can do that. And what he's saying is those people can get like all those red orbs and pay with real world money to unlock all these moves at one go, like from like the beginning of the game to the ending, essentially, right? And then he went on to explain how the orb costs of these moves and upgrades are balanced within the game's designs. Cheaper things are easier to acquire and easy to master, with more expensive things taking a greater amount of work to buy and perfect. This adds little to the notion of how exactly these microtransactions will affect the actual progression of the game, but it's sure to be something we keep an eye on in our review. And that's what IGN was talking about. And this is what I think is funny for me, and it's also has multiplayer. I could care less about Devil May Cry multiplayer. I'm for it for the single player aspect, and it looks really, really good. For me, I'm in the camp where I'm in the notion if it's literally the same microtransactions that were in Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition, which had no effect in bearing to the actual acquiring the orbs, and you had literally like plenty full of orbs to get, then I'm totally fine with that. Now that's to other people that are like, oh, let me just get it. To me, I think that's stupid. You shouldn't be playing a game that you want to get all at once. It's like you're basically doing cheat codes essentially. And that's essentially what the microtransactions are cheat codes for you to beat the game easier. And I think it's dumb, but I don't think it's very intrusive. Mm-hmm. That's just like my aspect, my own point of view. If it's just like DMC for a special edition, that a lot of people are saying it's supposed to be like that. What about you, Sentry?
Oh my goodness, are we really like? Okay, my issue with this in particular is because of everybody going after them, saying, "Oh, it's a step backwards." I'm like, if you played DMC Special Edition, DMC 4 Special Edition when it came out,
Angry Joe and
you would never know.
Played it, and what was the other person's name? Gosh dang it, Jimquisition or something like that. Also made a big fuss about it, and he didn't even play DMC 4 Special Edition.
Yeah, this is my problem with that, right? I played the game. You know what? I didn't know there were microtransactions in DMC 4 Special Edition until somebody told me like fucking 2 months ago. I was like, what? That's how much they didn't hamstring my progress. Everything was natural. There was no harm to my progression in the game. Like, they didn't force me into buying something. I didn't even know like, until somebody told me that there were microtransactions, I never fucking knew that.
Yeah.
And with this, like, okay, the game has multiplayer. Have they discussed in any facet what multiplayer is going to be?
Well, I have only multiplayer for 2 to 3 players, and they're being tight-lipped about it.
So if that's the case, like, it stands to reason that it's not going to be something like super huge or bad. Like this is my thing about it. We're picking games to be outraged about. But if I look at it, half the people talking about it aren't playing this fucking game, so why are we upset?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there were some people that only like played like the first game and they're talking
Like,
about it. It's like, what? You only played the first game.
If you haven't played, I can understand if somebody like me who's played DMZ 1, DMZ 2, DMZ 3, DMC 4, all versions of 3 and 4. I can understand if one of us was pissed. But people who haven't played the series since fucking 1, where are you coming from with this outrage? It makes no sense to be outraged. Like, I guarantee you 99.9% of people, actually 98, we did not know that there were microtransactions at all in 4. So what makes you think we were going to pay attention to it in 5? No one was. There's nothing more I can say about this. Like, I'm just going to shut up.
Mm-hmm. What do you think about this, Jigga?
I have no opinion because I never play any Devil May Cry game, so I'm good.
So you don't want that smoke, man?
No, I have no, like, it sucks. Is it microtransactions? Yes,
but you can't really speak on it because you didn't play DMC 4.
I never play any of them, so I'm good.
All right. What about you, Marvel DC fan?
I mean, like, for this kind of situation, like how I feel, like if the game, like microtransactions, if I can still unlock everything in the game without having to buy anything, I'm fine with that.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, like, it's just like, for me, it's like, I don't care. Like, if you play the game and you want to be lazy and get everything at the start, like, you do that. Spend your money on that. Like, I'm not. I'm just going to play the game how it is, not worry about microtransactions. And yeah, I mean, they're still there, but that's just how games are nowadays. Like, that's just the curse of modern video games is microtransactions. So, yeah.
Yep. Okay. What about you, TLoU? What do you think about DMC 5 microtransactions?
I think it's stupid at the end of the day. Firstly, having microtransactions within the game. Come on, you're not WB. And secondly, I think every game, every AAA game, besides what WB puts out, every other game deserves to have in-game progression, so to say, and no microtransactions at all. If you know what I mean. Because like it's gonna be a Star Wars thing where people are just gonna be like, take the microtransaction out the game, and then they'll be like, oh, we're gonna have to do it, and there'll be a last minute thing, and then you're gonna find problems with people that are just not gonna play the game, when it releases and shit like that.
My thing is like, what was like the outrage though with DMC 4 Special Edition with the microtransactions? That's my thing. It's like it didn't happen. Like the outrage, so to speak, only happened with 5, with people not, like Angry Joe, Jim Inquisition, finding out about it and making it more popular, and not having played like DMC 4 Special Edition. Because my whole philosophy is this, right? They're essentially paying a cheat code. And like real world money with cheat codes. And I'm like, for me, if it's not intrusive, like just like Marvel DC fan said, and it does not slow down your progression, it does not require moves just for like actual real world money, for me, I'm totally fine with that. That's like someone like buying bonus XP for Spider-Man with real world money.
Oh, okay.
Bonus XP for Batman with real world money, or bonus XP for an RPG or something like that. Yeah. That to me is like, I don't care for it. It's like, if you want to buy all your moves and waste your like 10 or 20 bucks, like actual like 10 or 20 bucks just to have everything at the get-go, then that's on you. The game's not going to be fun or challenging if you're going to have everything like that.
But what if they change it for you? Like, because they know that people will buy it if it's too difficult, they change it for you so where if you play right, then like you don't get it to like basically in game, or you never get it or something.
Wait, are you saying like I'm confused on that? Are you saying like,
okay, let's talk about like the challenge token thing. What if like you got a speed boost at a certain point? that you need that speed boost to beat those challenge tokens and get like the 3rd level. But let's say that if you paid for it, you get it like you can get it early, or you have to wait till like in game to get that speed boost, like because they know people would rather pay than actually wait to the end of the game to get it. Like they put at the end, and like they cut down everybody else's progress, forcing them to want to pay. You know, like that's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, the whole thing is like this. It's like then that's a bit of a different issue, right? Then that's basically intrusive.
But that's what most of the games like that do, though.
Yeah. But we're talking about DMC 5, where it's just basically cheat codes at that point.
It's basically like, but what? Yeah, it's basically cheat codes, and I think if you want to do cheat codes, they should be completely free. XP and all of that should be completely free. You shouldn't have to pay for things. You know, everything should be within the game. To be that's my honest opinion. That's whether it's Devil May Cry 5 or whether it's another game like Spider-Man. Everything should be within game, like how Spider-Man PS4 is. That's XP and everything is within game. You're not paying for microtransactions like, you know, skins or anything like that. But
yeah, but we're getting to this point where, just like Sentry said, games are being cost to make a lot of money, and there's only certain companies that are able to, you know, just say, oh, we're not going to have microtransactions, which is great. But there's other games that aren't able to do such a thing because they just don't have that much money, and that they have to go like, oh, you know, we got to put it some way that's not intrusive, and some way that some people just want to cheat their way to beating a game. And I'm just like, I'm in the camp where I'm like, listen, this game would have not existed if it was not for DMC4 Special Edition. Like, that was the game that had microtransactions. If DMC4 Special Edition did not come out, we would not have a DMC5 at all. Like, right, Sentry? Am I wrong?
Say that again.
Like, remember with DMC4 Special Edition, like, it sold a lot of copies, and the reason that DMC5 came to existence was DMC4 Special Edition sales.
Well, it was
microtransactions.
There was a two-pronged thing. So the regular, like, excluding microtransactions, DMC4 selling how it did, made sure that 5 was already technically in development.
Yeah,
but it basically put it over the edge of, oh, we have it in pre-production. Maybe we will, maybe we won't, until to the point of, okay, we're doing this.
Yeah.
Just like other things. Because remember, Capcom at a point had no money to really push any projects. So that pushed that game over the edge. And I want to make sure I'm correct on the statement before I say anything wild about it. DMC4 Special Edition is what I need. And now there's a dog barking. I apologize. Special Edition dropped June 23rd of 15. So based off of the original sales of 4 plus the Special Edition sales, that was enough to guarantee 5.
Yeah.
Plus the fact that, honest to God, Capcom outside of Monster Hunter and Street Fighter and a couple other franchises, they don't really have much in a way that can really do close to 10 million or pop close to past 5 million. DMC is one of those games that can do close to 5. So they went down a list of what they have, what they've used in recent memory. They chose that one.
Exactly. And that's my thing. It's like, if it's not intrusive, you know, it's fine for me. And DMC4 Special Edition came in existence because of those said, like, microtransactions. And that put it over the edge with the sales that DMC4 Special Edition had for DMC5 being made.
Wait a minute, you said Special Edition twice.
Well, I forgot that we should have done a segue for the crossplay thing, but I guess I wanted to bring up a quote from a man that's very famous.
Is it that Country Roads guy?
Oh man,
West Virginia, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. Give me a second. I really want to, find the exact quote because I don't want to say anything wrong about my man Todd Howard. All right, Fallout 476 crossplay. All right, so I'm trying to find the quote, but I'm getting like the new stories right now. Okay. Okay, here we go. So this is from probably the article for Push Square, and they took the quotes. So so while it's understandable that the publisher is focusing on launch, it does make prior comments, which is Fallout 76, not supporting crossplay, made by Howard look a little awkward in hindsight. He said that firmly would really love to do crossplay on Fallout 76, but can't right now. He then placed the blame firmly at PlayStation's feet. Sony is not as helpful as everyone would like. Sony announced that there's crossplay. You guys basically said in these statements that you would really love to do crossplay, but it's because of Sony that you're not doing it. Now Sony gives crossplay, and they're just like, well, we don't have crossplay. It's like, what? You guys are backtracking. What is happening here? Bethesda. You guys are either A, straight up liars, took advantage of the whole Sony PR of crossplay. B, you just don't want to mess with Sony because of maybe a possible deal with Microsoft. Who knows? That could be possibly a thing because they have strong ties with Microsoft. Or C, you guys are just idiots. But I don't know about that part. I hope you guys aren't. I'm just thinking you guys lied to take advantage of get more publicity out of Fallout 76.
Yeah, they try to like hype up, like get the people behind them. But now it's backfired.
Yeah, now it's backfired. They didn't think Sony would, and now they're like, well.
This is the type of person that has that's down on their chips when you're playing fucking poker and they have nothing left but to bluff, and then you call it, and they had no plan after that.
Yep.
I wonder if like Sony found out about them not having crossplay. Like, oh, y'all want to be like this? Hey, let's okay. We doing crossplay now. Like, nah, yeah. But,
Yeah.
what y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? And they're like, oh.
With Sony, they will backtrack as soon as they saw the backlash that people were saying, why aren't you doing crossplay? Because now look, the whole Fortnite thing, they're doing it beta. And it's temporary beta for Fortnite crossplay. And this would mean now that if Sony is going that direction with crossplaying with some games, Fallout will be on that list. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. But what do you think about the statements, though, about Fallout 76?
It's ridiculous. From the guy higher up, shouldn't be saying shit like that, especially to a company that's actually holding off one of your games. So you can't say shit to that.
I just find it funny. He's like he was blaming Sony for not having crossplay,
and this is why.
And then when they're doing crossplay now, and changing the quotes are like changing the regulations in Sony Interactive Entertainment with having crossplay for games and stuff like that. That's what they're doing. Now they're like, oh, we just don't have crossplay. It's like, what?
And like
lie.
And it's like now they've decided to change the faction and be like, okay, well, we're doing crossplay now, and this is from Sony's part. And I feel as if what what's it called? What's his name?
Todd Howard from Bethesda.
Yeah, Todd Howard from Bethesda. He's actually put himself in big boiling water with Sony and not only that, but there's a faction where possibly even Microsoft will probably look at that and be like, but if you're gonna say stuff about Sony, what if you say stuff about us? How would that make us look then? So he's in boiling water if you think about it.
Yeah, it doesn't look good for Bethesda right now. They're having negative PR about the whole crossplay situation, and they didn't believe that this was going to happen.
About the whole crossplay being on PlayStation or whatever game it was. And look now, got PlayStation playing with Xbox users, playing with PC players, and
mobile and Switch.
Yeah, that's all happening right now. And even though they tweeted it out and said, yeah, this shit's happening, so that's pretty cool.
Yep. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about Bethesda right now?
I have no comment, actually.
Yeah.
Oh man, they got to him, dog. They got to him.
Is that
got him the money?
No, that's interesting because I thought he would have said something.
What about you? Wait, do we have Central? No. Jago, what do you think?
I don't know. I kind of want like Fallout 76 is like I want that game to have crossplay, bro. But at the same time, it's like, do you? Unless, like, what if it like says what system you're on? Then you know it's like you're constantly going to get nuked by like PlayStation dudes like banding up in the server and just like nuking the Xbox dude, or the other way around, or like PC dudes being ass. Like, I don't know. But at the same time, like it should have crossplay. I mean, it's an online game. Like, what excuse do they really have?
But more in like honing in and like, what do you think about like Todd Howard's like statements earlier?
He just got caught with his pants down.
Well,
yeah, he's like he got caught. There's nothing he can do about it. But he said it can't be taken back. So either he has to apologize and make a big statement on Twitter, or
you put crossplay. Oh man,
yeah, that's true. Or they could do crossplay.
Yeah, but I think Todd Howard has to come out and apologize. That's smart.
I highly doubt he's going to do that.
Yeah, he doesn't want to get swept under the rug.
He just
doesn't.
He just doesn't care for Sony either. Like that's what I've always gotten from it. Like the whole like fiasco with like Skyrim and
Bethesda
on PS3, and Bethesda. It's just like they haven't had the strongest relationships.
I think you're right there, and I think this is why Sony's. It's not Sony. This is why Bethesda's missing out on a huge bundle of deals. With Sony, huge. Exclusive games that the Bethesda are working on, and it's all basically Todd Howard being an asshole, really. So that's what I'm thinking.
Okay, I guess we can quickly talk about the report that came out months ago that no one really took a chance to look, and I think it looked like it makes sense. Like this report is coming true. That I wish more people gave credit to these people. And this was an exclusive. This came out June 21st, 2018. This is exclusive. Sony planning on introducing crossplay, name changes, and PS Now downloads this fiscal year. Guess what happened already? PS Now downloads. Sony planning on introducing crossplay. And what's going to be happening later this year? Most likely name changes.
Listen,
they've been saying that for a while, dog. I don't know, bro.
2 out of 3 ain't bad, son. But let's not
name changes. I think name changes will actually happen. I doubt that they're not going to let that go, because what they'll charge, I believe they'll charge like how Sony does it. No, Sony, Microsoft does it, where they charge for you if you want to change your name.
Yeah. And this was, I want to say, like, emphasize, this report came out June 21st about what was going to be happening this year. And 2 out of 3 so far has come up, and I'm going to, like, quickly read these things. And for each part that they said, and I was like, Sony is listening, and this is what with crossplay. And an internal report at Sony, which was given to the Loot Gaming via an external source close to the company's PR, has indicated that by the end of this fiscal year, April 2019, console crossplay will come to PS4. There are 2 reasons behind it. One is that console sales are going to decline. Despite PS4's continuing success, we are nearing the end of the generation. Crossplay is expected to be the norm going forward. By activating now, Sony has nothing to lose. The PS4 software lineup will continue to introduce new buyers to the ecosystem, and crossplay will be used as a mechanism to keep them rather than as a reason for people to leave. Part 2. The report suggests that September update is going to include a download option for PS4 content on streaming service PS Now, which came true. This has been a requested feature for some time and will bring the service more in line with its nearest competitor, Microsoft's Xbox Game Pass. The third and final part is that PSN ID name changes are finally going to come this year. Apparently, the framework will be included in the September update, but it will not be enabled until the PlayStation Experience 2018 in December. The reasons personalities haven't been speaking about this feature recently is because they are aware it's being planned. Sean Layden has previously indicated he'd love to stop answering name change questions by the time PSX 2018 arrives. Again, this is preparation for the next console generation. Yeah. And the important thing to remember is plans change. They can be brought forward or back. Sony waiting until December to allow crossplay makes perfect sense. And it allows them to take advantage, blah, 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 about money and sales. Look at that. It makes completely sense. September update. PS Now download. Crossplay happened. September update for 6.00. Nothing happened. We were hearing some reports that there's something in there. We just don't know what's in there. And that some people that are close by is something big. This came out, and this report is like very accurate. And I'm thinking that PSN name change is going to be a thing.
Yeah, pretty much that's going to happen. And there's no two ways about it now. I mean, if you think about it, Xbox have done name changes since the release of the console, whereas Sony never did. But if they're starting to see that, look, if we put this name change, you won't get questions like this repeatedly in every convention we go at. And because that type of thing does happen at, PSP or VGAs or something like that.
Yeah, a lot of people ask.
A lot of people ask the same repeated questions. So I think it's a good thing that they're doing that, and finally people can change it. But as long as it depends on how they're going to work it. But I think they'll charge people for like how Microsoft does theirs. It's like you get one free time to change your name, and that's it. But after that, you have to charge them £5 or $5, whatever it is the price is. Just do it like that.
Yeah, and besides you think about the name changes, basically 2 out of 3 so far was basically spot on, right?
Yeah, 2 out of 3 was spot on. And
yeah, so I do want to say to people, because they think like the name changes and why it's like, why wasn't this sooner? Their infrastructure is so damn complicated. It's not like Microsoft, which Microsoft's infrastructure is really, really good. Sony's, when they're making the PSN infrastructure, it's very complicated. And it was like super hard, like messing with name changes and having the account with your purchases. It's like, I think whatever they did was messed up, and hopefully they fix that now with the name changes. But
there's several other things to add to that as well, because people name changes and shit, because back on the PS3 days, people used to make different accounts and used to make like fake accounts and go under fake names and used to troll people under that account or play a game online and just basically make fake accounts and shit. But because they're bringing this feature in, this will actually implement them to purchase something, and actually it means that Sony's making something out of it instead of them making fake accounts.
Jigga, what do you think about this that report that we just talked about for Loot Gaming?
Basically, y'all saying that Microsoft is superior and
this man.
Microsoft has had it since the beginning, and Sony trying to play catch up, dog. Oh man, I'll
tell you something, right? I was an Xbox dude, moved to PlayStation, right? And I did the fucking right thing. I'll tell you why. The reason behind that is because PlayStation fucking do things free. You don't have to pay $35 or $40 just to use their services.
Wait, so all I hear you saying is that you a broke person?
No, I'm not saying I'm a broke.
I'm joking.
I know. I'm just saying, at the end of the day, with what PlayStation Plus has to offer is more than what Xbox has to offer in terms of Game Pass and shit.
I mean, neither one of them really offer much to me. They both kind of whack.
I mean, God of War. Last month I had God of War, Destiny 2. Come on, that's whack. Big.
Jigga, oh man, that podcast episode.
Especially Destiny. Destiny is whack, bro.
Bro, it's a grinding game. It's a
Central, you
grind.
better pull up. This man's talking smack.
I mean, he can talk smack. He's just not good enough to play a good game.
I mean that's true. I destroyed Giga so many times in Destiny 2, and he blamed the lights. Oh man,
I don't know what you're talking about.
freaking gun flashing lights. It's like, what, bro? What are you talking about?
Trust me, if Giga got on, and if he did a full day grinding out in Destiny 2, I would love to see that shit on stream.
You'll never see it.
Yeah, that's fun, bro.
He'll rather stream Defiance than stream Destiny 2.
Defiance is way better than Destiny.
Oh,
bro.
no, this man.
This man.
Oh man, y'all can't prove me wrong, dog.
Dude, whatever, Jago. What about at least playing Gary's mod?
Gary's mod? Oh my god.
Wait, what about you?
Play Trouble in Third Sound.
Yeah, dude, this Friday or something.
I mean, somebody bought that for me, I would play it, but I ain't spent my money.
Oh my god, Jigga is lame.
I might actually have to buy this man Gary's
mod.
mod.
Man.
Well, get this guy fucking gears. Let him speak it. I want to see him rage.
All right, but Jigga, what did you think about that report though? Like the 2 out of the 3. You think it was pretty spot on?
I mean,
it came out on June 25th, by the way.
I mean, so far they've been right, so I can't be mad at it.
What do you think this PSN name change is going to happen now? On the report, they got 2 out of 3.
But when is it? It's going to happen, but when is it going to happen?
They said by PSX they're going to activate it.
Hey, when is PSX? Isn't that next
December?
December.
Usually
I don't know. December. Yeah, I believe they might, because they might try to catch some people. Hopefully, like, I don't know. Maybe somebody might change their name for Christmas or something. I don't know.
I mean, I'm gonna change that. Change mine. What do you mean? Change it to Red Hood? Like what?
Oh man, yeah. They got time, so I believe they might. Like, I believe they'll do it.
I mean, they even got the September update right too, so it's like.
But if they don't do it, they gotta hold this L, dog.
What? If they get one wrong? Oh man!
If they get 2 out of 3, they get credibility for future stuff regarding Sony. But they don't get 3 out of 3. I don't want to hear them talk about what they know. You get credibility regarding some things, not everything.
So what do you think if they get 3 out of 3 right? What does this like increase their integrity and shit?
Yeah,
if they get 3 out of 3, then they got somebody snitching at Sony, and I will always listen to what they got to say.
I mean, they're a small website. They're no big website at all, and people are like, "Wow."
This is my thing. If there's a small website saying this shit, that they have to have a leak, and I ain't telling Sony to plug said leak. Listen, you ain't hear this from me, dog. I don't know nothing, but. If this is the case and they go 3 for 3, after this point, nobody can really question their credibility at all. Because they have this saying 3 for 3. We told you what was going to happen. It happened. Now, what can you say? They can say anything. It would have to be trusted to a degree.
That's true. What do you think, Marvel DC fan, about that report that came out on June 25th? And after hearing that they got all that right, you think PSN name change, is going to happen for PSX?
I mean, like, because I've been keeping up with if they're going to do like name changes in the future. For me, I'll believe it when they actually release it to the public.
What about the report though that they were spot on? What do you think about that?
I mean, like, if they get 3 for 3, then good on them.
I'll bookmark their website. Not gonna lie.
Keep up with everything. Well,
keep up with their leaks now.
Yeah.
All right, I guess we'll go into the next topic. And
do you mind if I take over, because I want to do this thing that segues up? Because you remember what we talked about earlier in Discord.
Yeah, do you want to do that after we do Spider-Man sales, or?
No, I say we do this now, because that segues into the sales then.
Oh, I guess, yeah, you could do yours then.
Right. Now. So, guys, what I'm going to be talking about is my thoughts and opinions of Spider-Man PS4 after playing the game and finishing the story and, and what I thought about the whole experience of playing it. Now, as you know, I was an Xbox guy. I moved to PlayStation now, and I played Spider-Man PS4. Finished the game yesterday, and I've got to say, the experience is amazing. It's on point to Arkham Asylum. That's how I feel about Spider-Man PS4. The story is just brilliant. You got, I won't say which characters in it because of course some people haven't played the game. Wink, wink. Um, but like I know that there's certain characters within that game within that story, I should say, that actually hits you. It actually makes you, makes you feel for the character.
Is Stan Lee in the game?
Yes, Stanley is in the game.
Listen, you got to give the game. You got to buy the game for $100 now. Everybody go buy it.
$100. Nah, it's that. I'll be honest with you though. With this game though, at least there's no microtransactions. So that was the best thing about this game. No microtransaction. Everything within the game. You got the MCU characters coming. You've got the comic books, and also you had other skins that Insomniac were making as well. So we're possibly going, like I've been hearing rumors as well that Insomniac could be including more Spider-Man movie characters, skins, within the game, and Insomniac originals and comic book stuff as well. So that's for DLC wise. But I think as a whole story, it's a 9.5 out of 10. And before Red Hood says, damn, I'm telling you, this is the experience. This is coming from a guy that's a huge Superman fan. This is coming from a guy that knows that, look, you know what? Superman is the greatest character of all time. And
oh man,
huh?
Yeah, he talking different.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go get some water on that note.
I'm just saying though, the Spider-Man though, this game, it's actually hitting to people and actually saying, great, brilliant, and I know that some of the other guys on here, I know me and Red Hood have completed the story, and like all I'll just say is the end of my segue and give it to Red Hood to see what he thinks about it, is that get the game, play it for yourself, and you'll enjoy it. Mm-hmm. Enjoy every single minute of it.
Yeah, I agree.
Wait, I got a response to the Superman shit right quick.
Oh boy.
Go on.
Hold on. Greatest superhero, but all his games are ass.
At the moment it is. We do not know if there's going to be a Superman game coming from Rockstar Studios or from WB Montreal. That is still rumor.
But until then, he still don't get a good game.
He still got some great, stories within comics. So
what, like 2 Death of Superman and that other one?
Oh boy.
No. This is called Superman Brainiac. Created by, it was done by Jeff Johns, and it was a great story to read.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Chief. That wasn't as good as you think it was.
No, it's a great story. There's also, Red Sun Superman, another great story. But besides that, we're getting a little bit off track here. But Red Hood, you can talk about what your thoughts are on the game.
Yeah, I mean, I said it in the past episode. Okay. I thought I'll just reiterate. Great game, great story. Everyone should go support it. It's one of those gems this generation. For me, is my favorite superhero this generation for a video game. Go support it. We'll go into the actual main topic for Spider-Man was it is the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive of all time. It is sold in 3 days, 3.3 million units, and this is not counting the bundle sales. So it's counting my collector's edition I got for the game, but it's not counting my PlayStation 4 Pro bundle. So it's going to be interesting when they include those sales and how much that's going to skyrocket the sales from the 3.3 million.
I think it'll skyrocket because at the end of the day, it was the best selling. It was fastest selling in the UK alone. So
and Japan. It's like for 3 weeks straight. It's been number 1.
Yeah. So I think it is gonna be. It's gonna be God of War in terms of sales and records.
I think I'll definitely beat it in lifetime sales. Yeah. I mean, it beat it already in the 3 days that God of War
got
was
released.
also selling, and they're both feats in of itself. Like those numbers aren't something to knock in general, and it's really good for PlayStation because hey, it's like they keep getting quality exclusive after quality exclusive, and it's just kind of sad that I gotta throw some shade at Shadow of the Tomb Raider that it's not gonna come close to God of War sales or Spider-Man sales.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. I totally agree with you on that.
And it's a multi-platform game too.
Yeah,
There's
and
one system.
And that too, because it's a multi-platform game. It's the same thing with what's it called, Hitman, multi-platform game. They're not gonna get anything from it, and also fucking Lego DC Villains, they ain't gonna get shit either. So I'm just saying, as a whole, Spider-Man's profit margin will absolutely get them a sequel, possibly 2 sequels. I can see that being the case.
That'll be a trilogy.
Maybe I think that the games that seem like this get some more than the sequel. It might get them bought, but that's not his point.
Yeah, there are rumors going around. That
Nah, because go on.
We'll talk a little bit about that in a bit. But I guess you said your piece on it, right, Claudia, about the sales.
Yeah, I'm pleased about the sales because I saw it on the UK sales done really really well. It by far is probably one of the best Spider-Man games out there.
Yeah. For me, it's like the definitive Spider-Man game. For me, it's like I actually went back to play Spider-Man 2.
Yeah.
Take out the nostalgia glasses. The game has not aged well. And I like Spider-Man 2. It's like a lot of people need to go back and play that game from playing Marvel Spider-Man and go play Spider-Man 2.
Go play Spider-Man 2 and look at the difference.
Yeah, it's aged pretty bad. And it's some wonky controls.
When there's 2 Spider-Man 2 games, you got to figure out which one you're talking about.
Oh, dude. Well, they do that because Marvel is just like they always do the subtitle now instead of the actual Iron Man 2. Like the last one was Iron Man 3, then it was Captain America Winter Soldier.
I believe what Marvel will do with the next sequel game, which is of course spoiler.
I don't think Sentry's played the game, so we gotta. Let's
spoil it for that lame.
No, do not spoil it for
the game. Hold on, wait a goddamn minute. Just because I didn't talk about it doesn't mean I haven't beaten it.
But you've beat it?
You beat it?
I haven't talked about it.
You never talked about it, and I just assumed you never beat it for some reason.
Hold on, wait. Jigga can attest to this. Jigga knows I play a lot of games. I will never say a word about it.
Gosh dang, you gotta let me know more, man.
I can tell you right now, I have over 5,000 games beat in my lifetime.
So you finished it 100%. Okay,
not 100% platinum trophy, but we beat the game.
So basically, you agree with me, right? With the sequel, it's not going to be called Spider-Man, Marvel Spider-Man 2. It'll be a subtitle of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
I think it gets the 2 with a subtitle.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Also,
I think Stanley will get a bigger role than what he had in this game, though.
He's either him or somebody else is the one above all. So unless they trying to make Jack Kirby come back from the dead right quick and do some voiceover.
I don't know. Stan Lee look like he not doing good, so I don't know, bro.
He's 90+ years old. What?
Yeah, I mean, what do you want from the man? You want him to look better than 90?
Oh my god, y'all niggas hated that.
Listen. He's just getting old. He's not getting sick either. He's fine.
No, I heard he was sick. That's what I thought.
Not anymore.
No. He's fine. He's fine. It's the faction of what the way I see it is that I think they could have done a better role for him instead of him being a,
I mean, it's like a cameo role. I don't think all movies. It's like the
cameo
movie role,
but like not a movie role, but like a better cameo role, if you know what I mean.
I mean, for me, I got overjoyed. I forgot to post it on my YouTube channel. My reaction.
In all the movies, his cameos never really made sense. He just random dude number one.
Like there.
Like Marvel, like the Spider-Man Homecoming and Avengers Infinity War. He was straight up a neighbor of one of the things where Spider-Man thinks the dude's breaking into someone else's car, and it's his car. And then Stanley was there, and then Stanley was the bus driver. It's like in times of continuity, why are there so many Stan Lee?
Yeah, it's like,
what do you mean?
Oh yeah, in Washington. I was like,
he's a delivery guy, and it's like, wait, And it's like another. But the thing is, at the end of the day, I think in the games aspect, maybe give him more than one line, one sentence at least. He deserves more than that.
Me, I don't know. I enjoyed it for me. I just think that for me was perfect. That scene for me personally, just saying me, it was perfect. It was a good way to have him in it, and it's like because
But he only got one.
Mary Jane and Peter, like that's his favorite character couple. Me, I'm looking Gwen Stacy and Spider-Man, but
ain't nobody trying to deal with that dead bitch.
No. You guys got it wrong.
We don't count that other storyline.
Wait.
Storyline never happened.
Wait. Red Hood, you got it wrong. It's Betty Brant and Peter Parker. End of story.
Ew.
No, what?
Yo, nephew, delete yourself.
I'd rather have Felicia Hardy and Spider-Man.
I'm kidding.
Than freaking Betty Brant.
I ain't trying to have hairballs on my bed, G.
Oh shit.
I'm kidding. It's not Betty Brant. It's actually Felicia Hardy.
Oh
Okay,
my
we're
God.
done here. We're done.
She's Betty.
All right.
Having fleas all in your bed and shit.
Oh no. Okay, we got Claudia's opinion. What the sales? Marvel DC fan, what do you think about the sales and it being the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive?
I think that it is amazing. No pun intended, but also I wasn't really expecting it to be so huge. Like I knew it was gonna probably be God of War and some other PlayStation exclusives to be the best selling PlayStation exclusive, like that's pretty good for a Spider-Man game. So kudos to Insomniac for reaching that
mark.
Yeah, that
milestone.
That milestone, yeah.
Jigga, what do you think about the sales?
I mean, I'm glad it's a good game, and I really want that sequel to be made. So
you gotta wait another 3 years.
I mean, I got. I ain't gonna say nothing. I got time, dog.
You got time.
Hey, the Xbox ain't got no games for you, man.
Oh,
man, shot that.
That's
Xbox.
why I made the Switch, man. That's what I'm saying. You gotta make the Switch.
Oh, he has both. He has both.
Yeah.
And one still don't got no damn games. Ain't that the fucking
Facts.
And he got a PC.
Xbox on life support. I really believe it's gonna be dead into like next console generation. I really believe they abandoned it.
They already abandoned it 3 years ago, man. So.
Yeah.
All right. What about you, Sentry? What do you think about the sales?
We talking about numbers right now still? We talking about
We're
numbers?
talking about numbers.
Yes.
Do you know why this really doesn't matter in the long run? I told people that this shit was gonna happen
Dude, I said it
months
too,
ago.
man. People were like, "No, man, God of War will still be the fastest."
I'm like, okay, this is the first thing. This is the first problem. There's 3 heroes in whatever particular order. Doesn't really matter. There's technically a 4th and a 5th, but in this 3 order goes these heroes: Spider-Man, Batman, Superman. Doesn't matter what order you put them in. They will always put up numbers. It's like LeBron James. You tell him to go out there and get you 25, he'll get you 45 on some dumb shit. It doesn't matter. They get you the numbers that you require. Like, I don't know how you could argue that Spider-Man wasn't going to do anywhere over 1 million plus.
Yeah.
If you argue that, then you're out your fucking mind. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with you. But at this point, we should never second guess Sony or Marvel when it comes to putting up numbers. I don't know why that was even a question at any point that it was going to do better than God of War. God of War is not in pop culture like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. I've always said that.
Yeah.
I agree. It's like you go into like a mall and you'd be like, "Do you know who Kratos is?" They'll be like,
Curtis, baby. Who
Curtis. And then you'd be like, "Do you know who Spider-Man is?" Yeah, I know who Spider-Man is. I've seen him in Avengers Infinity War.
Peter Parker?
You see, the thing is, right, with Spider-Man, right, with this game, I feel as if it's the reason why it did so well is because Sony's got the rights to Spider-Man. End of. Sony's got the rights to Spider-Man. I know Marvel's got partially, but at the end of the day, Sony's got to be like, okay, we got to make something huge out of this, and chose Insomniac and they've done enough to do an Arkham, basically make their own story.
They realize we can't make a good movie, so let's just make a good game. Let's stick to what we know what to do. Is we know how to make good games. Oh man.
I mean, I wish they did that in the movies though.
Now that's why they gave them back to Marvel. It's like, man, y'all know how to make movies.
Yeah, we'll deal with the games.
Clarification on that: Marvel owns all merchandising rights. So in terms of making games, that's on Marvel, not kind of Sony. But hey, I'm just gonna fall back. I'm gonna fall back in the mist.
And, I guess we could go really into. There's another thing I wanted to talk about.
Falling back to the Xbox Cloud.
Yeah, we do have an Xbox topic.
Oh no.
We'll talk about it after this. So this is also another Spider-Man news thing that caught my attention, and this was a video, I believe, and it's okay, some sort of video. I don't know what it's for. And so Brian Anther was quoted in this video. I said, one of my favorite parts of this video is when Brian talks about how Marvel's Spider-Man is intended as the Iron Man of Marvel video games, said Bill Roseman. Marvel Games executive director of Spider-Man in regards to this GameStop kind of funny video. That is exactly how we view it, Bill Roseman is saying. As with that first MCU hit, Marvel Spider-Man kicks off a new era for Marvel console games. That could be taken in so much, in so many ways you can interpret that. But I'm telling you, this is legit. They're comparing it to the MCU.
Marvel Games Universe.
It's a Marvel Games Universe, and people are already, conning that, MGU, that Marvel's game. Like, this is the start of it, and you're gonna get, And I've said this multiple times, and people didn't want to believe me. They were like, "No, Avengers won't be connected to Spider-Man," or "No, they're in the same universe. They're going to be connected in some way." Will it be a direct, connection? I don't think so, not at the moment, but I think they're going to be direct, be connected in a way. But that's just me.
So here's a question for you anyway. Do you think the Avengers project in some aspect will be connected to Spider-Man PS4 or no?
I think they could mention it in passing, like, all the other movies have done in the MCU, and mention that event in passing, like, Sokovia, the Sokovia Accords or whatnot. Like, they've done that before with other, parts of the MCU movies.
Right.
And I think that's going to be something like that, very similar. Or there will also be a post-credit scene for Avengers, just like there were 2 post-credit scenes in Marvel Spider-Man. I totally think that's going to happen. But I don't think you'll see Spider-Man in it, though. That's me.
That's not happening. It's not going to be in the Avengers project. That's confirmed anyway. Because Marvel said, Insomniac have said we're not part of the Avengers project at all. As Spider-Man is it. But in terms of what I can see is the faction of Marvel actually producing more and more games. So there'll be more like not only Spider-Man, but there'll be like a possibility of them working on, let's say, Iron Man or Captain America, and do them justice, because they need to be a good Captain America game and a good.
I think an Iron Man game is feasible. A good Iron Man game's feasible. A good Daredevil game. Daredevil is very feasible.
Daredevil almost had the game.
Daredevil already came out. It had 3 games in this. Well, 4 games in the series. 5. Yeah, 5 games in the series.
But there's not like an actual definitive one.
No, not definitive. This was I'm talking about not a leak, a cancel.
Damn, I didn't get my joke. Fuck.
Oh man.
No.
Wait, say that again.
There's 5 games in the series, and you have a picture of one of the games and said Daredevil series. Let's see if you get it.
I got you now.
But it's like what I'm saying is right. At the end of the day, it's the faction of how Marvel is going to play this. So to start off with Spider-Man, then they bring up the Avengers project, and then they possibly could do one of the Avengers characters and actually work on that.
I don't think though. Like, I think Insomniac will do it, but not after their story's concluded with Spider-Man, because they still
they'll do Spider-Man. Yeah. They'll finish Spider-Man, so they'll do like 3 games, and then after that they'll
and then I also think that it'll be passed off in some capacity to another developer, and they'll do Miles. That's what I think. Or they might just have Miles in 3rd game. I don't know.
I think they're gonna bring Miles into the 2nd game anyway. I think that's no 2 ways about it.
I don't think it'll be a big narrative focus though.
No, it won't be a narrative focus, but they won't kill off Peter Parker. That That'd be silly of them.
No, I think he'll have his own unique missions, like you playing as him, in terms of like Spider-Man combat, and he'll be slightly different than Peter.
Yeah, and I feel.
You can't be a copy and paste of Peter's combat abilities. I think it has to be more rookie based.
I just think what they might end up doing is they might actually give him the black and red suit, right, from the Ultimate Comics, right? But with a spin on it, so they might actually change
it's going to be their own iconic like suit.
Yeah, because like they did with Peter Parker's suit. I mean, there was a comic for it, the Insomniac Spider-Man being in part of the I believe
Spider-Geddon.
Yeah, so I saw that shit, and I was just like thinking, wow, it's fucking.
Yeah, the writer for the game was also writing the comic.
Yeah, and I thought that was really cool.
And Superior Spider-Man was in that comic.
Yeah, which is fishy eyes, and but it's like I said, I just think though at the end of the day is where Marvel stands right now, is that they will have to focus on bringing out top-notch games to up on what DC is doing. And the same thing can be said for DC, because DC have to do the same thing. They have to up notch on what Marvel is doing, and what they're doing right now is basically they're cancelling off one game, bringing one game in, cancelling off another one, bringing one in, and it's like they don't even know which game they're gonna have out. And like it's like I said, I think what we'll probably get is from something from Rocksteady, more over from WB Montreal. And then, like, that would be from DC. But where Marvel is they're going to push out the Avengers, get marketing for that shit from December right the way over to next year, and then release it for January of 2020. I believe that.
Okay. I guess also, what do you also, we'll go through what they said. Marvel DC fan, what do you think about what Brian Inthahar said, about Iron Man, that Spider-Man is the Iron Man for this Marvel new universe, Marvel Games universe, essentially?
I mean, like it makes sense to say that, because like Marvel Games, they want to have that kind of console resurgence, and I feel like the best character to start off with is like the most popular Marvel character there is. And I mean, if these games, they keep coming out and they have solid developers working really hard to make sure that it's a good experience, then I mean they pretty much have my money. So yeah. And if everything is connected, like Avengers product and Insomniac, Spider-Man, all that, I think that would be really cool.
Yep. What about you, Jigga? What do you think about Spider-Man being the Iron Man Marvel Games universe?
I like what he's trying to say, but at the same time, it's like I can't see them doing, like, how can I say this? Like, how many they got some good characters where I know, like, if they made a game with them, it would be good, but like, how many characters do they have, like, you think that will, like, actually make into, like, that can be made into a fun game? Like,
I can mention a few.
Wait, are we talking strictly Spider-Man, or are we talking about Marvel game? Like
the Marvel game universe. Like, I get, I like.
You got Mandarin.
There's a bunch.
Mandarin's a big one.
I don't know who that is.
Mandarin, bro.
Iron Man villain.
Yeah, see, it's like you naming people like Iron Man. Oh, you might make that into it. Like, I can see a possibility of that being made to a good game, but
I would just need BioWare to make it.
BioWare.
Oh my god.
BioWare is working on BioShock currently.
Low-key,
they can do Anthem on the side. I need them to make that game because it looks like they finally got those mechanics right.
Yeah, actually, you know what that is, right? They could actually make a good Iron Man game, bro.
You're right. They could pull off a good Iron Man game. Not gonna lie.
That would save them after fucking Anthem. If it does flop, they'll shut their company down. That could save them. But then again, we have to think about EA and how they would try to focus on the suits.
Oh my god.
Yes, that's true.
Disney already gave them one contract that they fucked up. So.
Oh man, you know what? Damn, it'd be like that.
But it's like, but the thing is, right? the way what Marvel needs to do is just like, put the 2 games they've already announced, and then they need to focus on the next game, which is the Spider-Man sequel, and then after that, just think about what other characters they can do. Like, I think a Wolverine game is long overdue.
Yeah, but that won't happen until
The
the
thing
Fox
is,
deal.
yeah.
well, no, they could do it. Like, remember, there's no limit on things they can do. There's only mandates that Marvel passes down that they won't do.
Yeah.
They could always do stuff with these characters. They just chose not to.
Yeah, they chose it because of the whole Fox thing.
And they was on they fuck everybody else that ain't part of the family tip. Like, if
Yeah.
you ain't, our stepkids over at their other parents' house, so we don't fuck with them.
Yeah. Also, what do you guys think about the whole console games thing? Because they didn't say like multi. It just says Marvel console games.
What do you mean?
What Bill Roseman's saying, and he's the head of the Marvel Game Studio.
I think
he's saying Marvel game consoles.
Okay, I think what they mean by that is probably be with a more of a focus with. And I say this because of the fact that Spider-Man did so well. I feel like they're going to be aligning themselves more so with Sony and to a lesser degree Square Enix in terms of they make console games and strictly exclusive games. So they're petitioning what they're doing towards that factor. Because I'm pretty sure the Avengers project is going to be a multiplat.
Yeah, that is a multi-platform game.
So, and the problem is like, so with this doing as well as it is, I'm pretty sure if Sony wants to ask, or if Marvel wants to ask, we want this studio to do this game if they're up for it, because they want that quality. So now, projects that people thought were extremely off the table, like Naughty Dog at The Last of Us 2 has a bunch of options. They can do a new IP. They could continue to do The Last of Us, Uncharted, whatever. There's a lot of things open to them now, or they can do some Marvel or Star Wars shit. Like, they're things that we thought were off limits and not open like beforehand. It's a whole like the rules have changed, so there's a whole new rule book and playset and box to deal with.
That's interesting. For me, it's just a fraction of the way they deal with things, and they've got a big bunch of characters that is within the Marvel universe anyway. So it's like they could do, let's say, a Defenders game. Imagine that.
Yeah, they could do them in crossover like that.
Crossover Defenders and
I would love a Daredevil game with Wilson Fisk in it. Like you could have the same.
Don't get me started with that, because I remember the situation when Kingpin was in Daredevil movie. Fuck's sakes.
We're not talking about that. We're talking about the Wilson Fisk from the Netflix shows, but the Wilson Fisk is from Spider-Man is more associated with the Netflix shows.
I feel as if where Marvel's going, what they've got is really good. They've got something going. Now all they have to do is plant their feet into the soil for the next game, because as soon as they get the next solo game out, it's all over. It's over for DC.
It's the whole issue with DC, and it's not even DC's fault for games.
It's WB's fault.
Like they're Marvel Game Studio was able to go to developers and say, "Hey, we want you to make this game. Oh, we want this developer now to make this other game."
Yeah,
WB they only had their own developers,
The thing is, they've been going out to looking for partnerships now. Like, I mean, apparently they've been partnership with Studio Gobbo, who did what's it called, For Honor and games like that. They're looking to go in with them apparently.
Oh no, not Studio Go. I don't know about that studio.
Ubisoft?
Yeah. The people who made For Honor.
Yeah, that's Ubisoft.
No, not Ubisoft. It's called Studio Gobbo.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Studio made For Honor.
Yeah, let me screen share. I'll show you. Screen share. Alright, let me show you what I mean. Where is it? Yeah, can you see on my screen?
Give me a sec.
That's it.
Studio Gobbo, right? we're proud to partner with WB Games in 2018 and beyond. And
Did
if
they
you
make
go,
For Honor?
yeah, they made
They helped with it. Okay.
Oh, they helped. So they
Yeah,
didn't actually make.
they helped with the game, so they've been purchased by WB.
So they're getting more studios.
They're getting more studios coming in to thing, and I feel as if this is the case with the whole case with WB Montreal. It's like I feel as if they're out of the door now. So
My thing is like I can't get behind a purchase that I have no idea an actual game that they made. You know what I mean? I mean, helping for is completely different
Then
than
producing.
and actually making said game, because the people that did the heavy lifting in For Honor was Ubisoft.
yeah,
doing
For Honor
that
did
game.
the Ubisoft. But the thing is, it's just like the way I see it is now that WB have actually are trying to pull a Marvel, but it's actually backfiring on them because where has there been a DC game that's actually sufficiently been a really good one since Arkham Knight? Come on,
Damn, that's 3 years ago. Holy shit!
there hasn't been. There's nothing.
3
There has-
fucking years.
They
That's
need to give up on
Going
Superman,
on to 4
dog.
years.
It's going on to 4 years now, right? No fucking DC game has come from WB or from Rocksteady or from WB Montreal. And I've been, been doing research, been talking to people within the business and shit like that. And it's like I said that it's like what I've said. It's like they got 4 fucking years, no fucking game, and Marvel is going to take over now and fucking be like, all right, DC, go fuck yourself. We're fucking taking over. We're gonna rule this. We're gonna rule the gaming universe. You've had your time in the sun. Now the spotlight's on us.
what time in the sun they had 5 games. I had to do math.
Quickly want to say, DMV fan just pointed out. He said that Crystal Dynamics, who are doing the Avengers project, hired the combat designer of God of War for the Avengers project. Which basically.
Well, I mean, everybody's in that area, so if you're gonna move to any studio, you're gonna move to the one not owned by Microsoft.
Yeah, and like, dude, you're hiring the designer for the God of War for combat. Yeah, that's gonna have very good combat because God of War, that combat, flames.
It's already starting to look like it's gonna have a progression. But the question is, of all with the Avengers project, is when they're gonna fucking show off the gameplay.
Yep, they have till the end of the year. They said more details.
Remember, they said 2018.
2018.
They said,
yep, they got till December.
They got Paris Games Week. They have TG. Well, not TGS.
No. They can have their own event. I've said this multiple times, and Square Enix has done their own, events with Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy 15.
I'll say this: you have PSX, Paris Games Week, and the Game Awards.
Yeah,
those
are like those events, and maybe their own event.
I think for a fact that I think you should either think TGAs or PSX for sure.
Agreed. Mm-hmm. See, the Paris Games Week or the Video Game Awards, if they aren't at any of those events, then they've really messed up.
Well, no, I would think PSX because of the fact that they want to keep that you want to keep things together.
Yeah, Sony will be having marketing rights for that game. I can guarantee you that's going to.
Well, Sony used to own a part of Square Enix, so that makes all the sense in the world, to be honest.
Well, I mean, they didn't have marketing for freaking Tomb Raider.
Who wants
unless they did not want that shit, and they were like, "Nah, Square, we're good."
Nah, they didn't want to have the rights, but they had the rights to Kingdom Hearts, and even though it was on both platforms, right?
Who the fuck about to buy Kingdom Hearts on Xbox? I don't know. 3 people.
Oh yeah, that's true. No, I ain't buying.
I ain't trying to be mean.
I am.
But I think
you own a PS4, Jigga. What the fuck is wrong with you?
Here, Jigga said he's gonna be playing the collection on PS4, and then once Kingdom Hearts 3 shows up, he's gonna get on Xbox One X.
Jigga, are you stupid?
Oh man, why you
I'm
hating?
asking seriously, are you stupid?
Why you hating, dog?
I ain't hating. I just need to know, are you stupid?
Look, y'all trying to say Xbox people don't buy games, so I'm buying games on Xbox.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, Jigga, what's it called? Century, right? I can't remember. Fuck's sake. But the thing is, right, what I'm saying is that with Square Enix, right, they'll push out, Kingdom Hearts. They'll get that out there, and then as soon as that's done, the Avengers project will get full marketing and everything. That will happen for sure.
No, I agree with that statement. I just think in terms of, like, I think we get our first full showing of what the game actually is at E3 next year. That's for sure.
Yeah,
I
gameplay
feel
will
like-
be shown.
But that would clash. But then that would also clash with the possibility for what DC has as well.
I'm
I
fine
don't,
with that.
I don't think they care. Like at this point, this is the problem. Like right after they dropped Arkham Knight, there's like a period of time where they're not doing shit. We don't know what the fuck they had going on. Montreal canceled like 14 projects in the span of 3 weeks. I don't know what the hell's going on.
WB, I was told this. WB Games Montreal worked on 4 different projects in a space of 6 years.
That's crazy.
And they canceled all of it? What the fuck?
No, they worked on the 4th one they're working on right now. They cancelled off 3 different games. One of them was a rumored Superman game, which apparently has now been pushed over to Rocksteady. The second one was a Batman game, which was the Damian Wayne Batman game, which got leaked out a few years ago. And then the Suicide Squad game, same thing. All of those games which got scrapped were basically because of WB higher ups. They were like, no, we're not going to give you, Superman is not an IP for you. The Batman stuff was because the reception they got. And with the Suicide Squad game, why the hell would you have a grappling gun for all the characters within Suicide Squad? You fucking explain that to me.
Mm-hmm.
So that doesn't make any sense. But because Rocksteady is the highest, probably one of the high ups for, development for
That's
WB.
the best studio that WB has.
Yeah, the best studio for WB has for open world games. They're going to be like, no, we're going to have Rocksteady to develop this game. And seeming as they've done the Arkham franchise, yeah, like, okay, we're done with the Arkham games. Let's do Superman and build on a gaming universe of its own and make a Justice League out of it, which I think possibly could be the case, seeming as what Marvel has done with Spider-Man, introducing, Avengers characters and Easter eggs and shit like that. They could do that, man. I think it could be a really good deal. But I just hope it doesn't clash with the Avengers project at the same time, because if Marvel wants to do something smart, they would show at the end of this year. That's how I think Marvel should do it. They should show at the end of the year VGAs, PSX, and then be like, okay, here's the game. You guys have waited so long for this. Here's the full-on exclusive gameplay demo, some sort of Avengers project, and then people will get a slight edge of what the game would be. And then at VGAs, you have the next stuff for the Avengers project or Rocksteady's game. So that's what I think.
Mm-hmm. Gotcha. Yeah. Do you guys think, though, that Sony's going to still have marketing rights for DC games, or you think they're going to pass it off?
No. They're going to still have full rights to WB, because think about it. They ain't going to pass up on the opportunity for a Superman game, aren't they? Or for a Justice League game, for that matter.
I would.
I think at this point, I look at it because it's like I get the thought process you're saying. I think at this point we have to look at, okay, who has what. Basically, Sony has all of the Activision marketing. They cause EA to basically go neutral with all their marketing. So basically, at this point, it's either one or the other. They don't have anything definitively in one camp. And Square only has one title in the fucking Xbox camp, and the rest of them are Sony. So they threw Microsoft a bone, I guess. So when I look at it, it's like it depends on who's going to spend that money on that marketing deal. Sony doesn't really need that marketing deal. However, Microsoft does, just to make the lineup look better. Because at this point, all of the studios they acquired in the last 6 months, none of them are going to put anything out until maybe 2021 at best.
Yeah, agreed. But the thing is with Sony, because they've already had the rights to Batman, and they've got a very good relationship with Rocksteady, I could see that being the case with the next Rocksteady game. I can see that because if you think about it, only Sony had the exclusive DLC for the Scarecrow mission maps and Justice League 3000, Batman's game.
It's all been since Asylum.
Yeah, it's all since been Asylum. Yeah, Xbox didn't have anything. Xbox only had the Flashpoint skin, but that was only for a time exclusive. So that's what I think.
Understandable.
True. Guess we can go to the next topic.
Your breath stink.
Oh man, this man coming at me. I gotta go because some people didn't believe me, especially some of my family members. But Kingdom Hearts 3 about the voice actors. I was like, there's a lot of really Disney, voice actors coming into, Kingdom Hearts 3, especially in Frozen and stuff like that. They're like, nah, you're wrong, Red Hood. I was like, really?
You're wrong, Clyde.
It's like, as for Disney characters, Square has confirmed the main cast for Frozen, Kristen Bell, Idina Menzel, Jonathan Grove, and Josh Gad will be returning to voice Anna, Elsa, Kristoff, and Olaf, respectively. Zachary Levi is returning from Tangled to voice Flynn Rider, and Tate Donovan is back to voice Hercules. I'm fucking right. You guys
James
are wrong.
Wood is. We already know James Woods was coming back to be Hades. Like that wasn't even a question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. And I don't understand why people were like, nah, you're wrong. You're wrong. These don't sound like...
Wait,
I was like, yes.
What about Simba?
Hold
That's
on,
the
wait.
question. Here's a question. What about Simba and the Lion King and all of that?
Well, that was a world in Kingdom Hearts 2. I don't think it's showing back.
They're not coming back. But
Maybe a summon, but I don't know. No, actually, no. It makes no sense because Simba is... he's back to his regular form, so he wouldn't be a summon.
yeah, also, like, people forget that they had fucking Billy Zane in the Kingdom Hearts game. Like, they have hired Hollywood talent before. It's not really a thing.
Yeah, Zachary Levi is in it, so...
Zachary Levi, Shazam!
Yeah, well,
Like,
he's doing the Flynn Rider guy from Tangled, so...
Yeah.
Hold on, like, people forget that, like, literally, like, straight up, they had Luke Skywalker. They hire Hollywood talent all the time for Kingdom Hearts. Kingdom Hearts is basically like anime Star Wars, give or take. Like, actually, there's no give or take. It is anime Star Wars. Fuck it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and while Sean, who plays Rex, is coming back for it, so I'm telling you, dude, Square Enix is spending some money and Disney's helping. They're like, all right, we got you. Get some of these original talents back.
They might be under contract with Disney, and they're like, "Hey, for a little bit of money, we go do this game or something."
Oh, they're not, Jigga. You must not heard.
You sure?
No, remember, you have no obligation to do anything after that.
After that movie, they like Square Enix / Disney.
They have to pay them out up front.
They're like, "Yo, we got this amount of money, bro."
Doing it, though.
Huh? No,
Disney don't. Disney. Okay, so this is how it works.
Marvel
you
does
give
that,
out
but
a
Disney
license to a game company, and they buy said license. So they buy like Square Enix bought the license for Disney characters, and then they have to go out their way to find for voice actor talents from America, United States,
The
Americas, right? The American, American country, and they're like, yo. Zachary Levi, Kristen Bell, Josh Gad, please come over. We got this big sum of money for you guys to voice.
Zachary Levi's like, I'll do it for free, chicken.
Oh, dude.
He probably would. Honestly, he loves video games. The dude is like, no worries.
Wait.
I'll go for free.
Yeah. Breaking news, right? Red Dead Redemption 2 will support up to 32 players online as well as selected online content that will be exclusive to PlayStation 4 for 30 days.
Oh, that's timed.
That
makes sense. But
Xbox facts.
But after this, what do you guys think? Are you glad that Disney characters are coming back? Or the original Disney people?
I think, for me, the whole bringing back the whole cast and everything is a brilliant idea. It's a brilliant move. Because I remember only certain games used to do that. But now, because they're doing it like for Kingdom Hearts, getting A-listers to come and do voice acting in video games, it's actually making them look good. And actually also making profit for the video game aspect as well.
Mm-hmm. I think it was funny that people also in the articles like Sora is returning. The original voice actor for Sora is returning. It's like, dude, did we not hear the same trailers at E3? Like that sounded exactly.
He's been
like
back.
Sora.
We know.
Like what? Did no one know?
It's like, but the thing is where Square Enix has done, at least they've managed to get these people to come back, because don't forget,
also
some
they managed to market the game as well, unlike the Tomb Raider.
Okay, I'm disturbed at the fact that Haley Joel Osment is only 30 years old. We have an issue.
Dude, that man was in the movie for The Sixth Sense. I see dead people. That's him.
I know. The problem is he's only fucking 30.
Yeah.
the thing is, right, what Square Enix has done with where they're able to bring A-listers is actually making sense because, come on, it's for smaller children as well as teenagers, right?
No,
The way they're marketing.
And me.
Well,
I'm an adult. Century's an adult.
And some adults, right?
Some
and
adults.
some
But I'm not
a lot of
enough money
adults.
to pay them
Wait a
back.
minute,
though.
you gotta understand. A whole generation of kids grew up for damn near 10 plus years without a lip of word of Kingdom Hearts 3.
Dude, these kids are gonna try and play this game. I can guarantee you they're not gonna understand one thing.
Listen, the kids that played this game probably got kids by now.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. So what I'm saying is some adults that were in that generation that were loved the Hercules movies and all that good stuff, and bringing back the voice actors and stuff. I feel as if it's a great move, and I know the voice actors. I've seen this happen before, where voice actors from the movies come on board, and they're like, it's a great move, for us to be in a video game. We've never experienced this before. Marketing, obviously money-wise, because money is always a big thing with them. So money and all of that included, it actually pushes them to be in other video games, possibly in the future. So that's what I think.
Well, Marvel DC fan, what do you think about them getting Disney actors into the game?
I'm not that surprised. And the only reason I say that is because the earlier games, they have a track record of getting those voices from the movies. So the fact that, like the actors from Frozen and Zachary Levi and all, like, it's cool that they're back, but like it doesn't surprise me in any way.
Do gotta say also, I wanted to touch note, you guys, if you haven't seen, watch that Kingdom Hearts stream that happened at TGS, because bruh, I lost my mind when Sora was facing Aqua. Not gonna lie.
Your Bay is evil now? Okay.
Yeah, I was like, gosh dang, Aqua. No.
Yeah, you thirsting over video game character, dog. You got problems.
Nah, man. I got no problems. Aqua is my wife. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck that shit. If someone actually says
He said this shit without hesitation. Wait a minute.
If someone says Aqua is my waifu and actually means it, you guys got some issues. I'm not gonna lie. But you have seen some people actually. What?
I'm your waifu. Oh man,
yeah. Who's your waifu?
Don't worry about
fucking
it.
Hand, bitch.
I ain't gonna let you try to take my waifu.
Yeah, your right fucking hand, man.
Is it the body pillow right next to you? Is that your waifu?
Oh man, definitely, dog.
Right. So here's a question for you guys. Anyway, what do you guys think then of the reception it'll get once it's released? Like, how much money do you think it'll make?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not sure it's gonna make that profit back that they spend on these voice actors.
It's going to.
It's not gonna make back a profit. However, I do think it'll do more than $1 million day one.
I don't think you realize, but they make a lot of money on merch. Kingdom Hearts.
Kingdom Hearts does have heavy merch. They're gonna sell a dozen big ass Keyblades that week.
And I'm gonna fucking buy one. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. Actually, I might actually buy one. Buy Keyblade. Bucks that shit.
No comment. No comment to that.
Dude, I'm gonna be like, I'm the Keyblade master.
Red Hood, stop, dog. What you doing?
Dude, don't make me, yell out my spells right now.
Okay, we're done. Everybody leave the podcast by himself.
Yeah, let's leave it by himself. Yeah. This is a way where we can say, well, as Century said his piece or.
Okay. Well, we also have to talk about quickly give a good notice to the viewers watching. Today is Outbreak Day, and if you guys don't know what Outbreak Day is, please leave. No, I'm just kidding. Don't leave. Outbreak Day is where the cordyceps and the fungus infection, started in 2013 with The Last of Us. And that was like, and now it just became a day into, sell merch, and also give free stuff. Like, you can get a Last of Us Part 2 background theme, look pretty dope, as well as You can get the theme song, but you have to pay for it. It's like on Amazon, Tidal, Google Play, which I might cop. Probably, most likely. I like The Last of Us Part 2. And also they're selling a poster, which I will show up on the screen in a bit. And I'm trying to get it for all of you. And it looks pretty dope to me. Where's that poster? Okay, I got it here. Screenshot this. Okay, cool. All right. No, I got a bunch of tabs, but I ain't that shit, dude. And I don't do that. Nah, this PC, no, thank you. I'm not risking it.
Oh man, everybody say they got porn tab on their PC.
I wasn't even talking about porn. Y'all got a problem. I said Cornhub.
You did that shit on purpose. I don't want to hear. So you got the little poster. It looks like it's Joel with a wolf, and it's a very constant theme throughout the Last of Us marketing with the previous poster with I believe it was Ellie's hand. No, it wasn't Ellie's arm. It was that woman's arm from Paris Games Week, and the flames were like a wolf. And that brings into question what this wolf means. I've heard theories that the wolf could possibly be something that signifies one of the cults, the gangs. It could also signify the people that Ellie cares about or something like that. Because you have the theories that the woman in Paris Games Week is her mother. And Joel is basically like her father. And the wolf signifies that or something. I heard some stuff like that. I've heard other things that are crazy. But also, yeah, make sure you do all that. What do we think about that poster, guys? I know it's being sold for like $45, and if you're a Last of Us fanboy, you can pick that up, and I might cop me that poster. I'm not gonna lie, because I'm a big fan of Last of Us.
I'm good.
Don't judge me. But overall, what do you guys think that poster means? We're gonna start with Jacob. Maybe he has some deep meaning and deep insight to what that poster means, or he'll just be like, I don't know.
I have no opinion because I still haven't even beat The Last of Us. So,
I can't talk to Jigga. Jigga, when I see you on the podcast, you better beat the game by then.
Oh yeah, dude, he might bring you up on.
You got 48 fucking hours.
You got 48 hours to complete it.
Oh my god.
That's a Friday's a podcast, bro.
Definitely not.
You got 48 hours. If you don't complete it, you're out of the podcast.
I ain't gonna have him out of the podcast. I got too much love for Jigga, but I am gonna have to.
He'll just cut his pay, right?
Y'all don't get paid.
Dude, I get paid like 5 cents, man.
Who lied to you and said I gave you a nickel?
Listen. We'll talk about it after this. But what do you think about this, Century? You got any deep meaning for this poster?
You see, on my wall of conspiracy bullshit, and hold on, let me get my tinfoil hat. I'll just put this shit on my head right quick. Damn, I lost where it was. Okay, there it is. Hold on, I gotta get in pose. So you see, with the 4th percentile of the fact that it's at this angle, the wolf means that the wolf is hunting. It is a hunter. Ellie is the hunter, and it's claw. It's claw right here. This means that she shall kill with the bow, and that means that the fireflies around them are evil or some other dumb shit. I have no clue. But I genuinely have no clue what that shit means.
I love it.
Oh my god, we need this guy back on the podcast.
Oh my god.
I love Century, man. Man's a good guy.
We need this guy on the podcast every week.
But no, what about you, Mark? DC fan? You got any type of insight on that poster?
No, I got nothing.
Nothing. Alrighty. Now we got the last big topic that has so many things happening. It's Telltale games. So what I've heard, and I'll give you my insight on what happened exactly for me and how I found out stuff that was happening. I got my phone. Somehow it gives me like Google newspapers and stuff. And it's like The Verge broke that Telltale laid off like almost all their employees, and I'm like, what? And I was like, okay. I go on the podcast Friday, and freaking Sentry's like, yo, they're closing down, and all their games are being canceled. I'm like,
wait, you said it wrong. I said it like this. Yo, about closing down, G.
Yeah,
And Red Hood was like, what?
I was like, what
no,
about Wolf Among Us season 2?
This is the exact sentence of Red Hood said. No. They have to make Wolf Among Us too. I'm like, yeah, that shit not getting made, dog. He was like, no.
Yeah. I was like, are you kidding me?
It's
I
like,
was like, no, I was exactly like that, bro. Like, that was exactly how it went. And I was like, you shitting me right now. Me in the car finding out all this stuff was happening. I was like, oh man, I was getting depressed. I was just in denial. But
he couldn't handle the faction of Telltale gangs.
Yeah. And then what happened? And then they had a statement that essentially they were closing down. They're only having 25 employees left due to contract obligations. Then a story broke. Many people were corroborating as well as what was happening. That Telltale has a skeleton crew. They're working on the Minecraft Netflix thing, which I have no idea what this Minecraft Netflix thing is. It's something to integrate with Netflix or something like that. I have no idea. I could care less, but whatever. Due to laws and like the obligations that they had with Netflix, they had to do it. And I was like, you know what? Okay. And then they were saying The Walking Dead was canceled. And I was like, oh no. Final season. Are you shitting me? I paid money for this. And I was like thinking, oh boy. And then they were like, all right, we got an update. We're working on towards a solution. We have nothing, but we have potential partners. And we'll share more with you later. And then what happens? All right. So just today, I believe it was today or yesterday, Telltale pulls The Walking Dead's final season from sale. This had to do with Steam, Xbox Store, PlayStation Store. And so what ended up happening, they got an update from Telltale. Telltale confirmed in a comment to Polygon that the season pass sales have been halted as the company discussed new development plans to finish out the series. And then the quote is, yes, we have removed season passes for The Walking Dead, the final season, from stores for the time being. A representative told Polygon, we're currently still working to find a way to hand off production of episodes 3 and 4 so that the season can be completed. The outcome of those efforts will determine when and how the final season returns to stores. We hope to have a firm announcement before the end of the week. For now, we apologize for any inconvenience. It seems like they're closing in on you. But everyone needs to realize that most likely they're definitely not making the game. What means for everything here, it's saying hand off production. They're giving it to another developer or another, company to make those episodes. So they're gonna hopefully keep the story intact. The story's complete. Like they have the storyboards done, they have like all the dialogue done. It's just they have to make it. It's gonna feel differently. I totally know it's gonna feel differently. And how do I feel about this? I'd rather have it finished as buying the season pass than a game that isn't finished, right? And we'll go into other things that have been happening in Telltale, but we'll discuss. For me, hopefully it's true. I don't know who will take it. It might be THQ Nordic because they buy everything. So they might buy the license or something or be partners and make that game, and Telltale probably gets a percentage or something. I have no idea how that's going to work, but then we're going to later on, after this, talk about how they went bankrupt or almost shutting, about to shut down, and then the lawsuit. But what do we think, Sentry?
About this
and about the whole them handing off the production.
Well, if we want to be honest, like they expanded, they had the Crytek issue where they thought they could expand, and you really can't expand like that at all. So yeah, you kind of played yourself. Then you have the issue of the fact that okay, we found out you only made money off of the first season of Walking Dead, and you only made money off of the Minecraft shit. Which, to me, if that's the case, we have an extreme issue. If you only made money off of those two series and you're a licensing Batman, you're a licensing Guardians of the Galaxy.
And licenses, the company buys it. Like Telltale buys those licenses, and they're expensive. It's not cheap. Like that also costs money.
It's not on any of the devs inside of the company. It's on the management. You can't get mad at devs, and I've seen this a lot, and I don't know why. You can't get mad at a dev for wanting to provide for their family, because if you were in their fucking shoes, you would be like, hold the fucking phone, bastard. I gotta take care of my kids. I gotta take care of my family. Like,
yeah, they didn't get paid severance, which we'll talk about that lawsuit thing. Exactly. Also, we gotta also realize there was a former CEO that supposedly he was like the main reason of what was happening with Telltale. And the new CEO was changing everything to like 4 episodes. And I think this year it was just only The Walking Dead final season, right?
It was supposed to be The Walking Dead final season. And I think 1 episode of something else, because they did drop Batman earlier this year.
Yeah, I think it was it was just Batman and then The Walking Dead.
It was Batman and Walking Dead. Yep, and then they said.
Yep, and then they made 4 episodes for. They were trying to change things. The new CEO, something Howe or something, Pete Howe.
Yeah, they were trying to change. They were trying to change the CEO of the company. Yeah,
and we'll talk more about what happened and how it was all of a sudden. But Sentry, what do you do? You think that they're gonna get this deal finalized for handing off the production to another studio or another publisher, or what?
I think you can do that because there are a couple devs. Like I would think that Don't Nod is probably like chief among where people want to work on that.
I definitely want Don't Nod to work on it.
However, it depends on how how do you transfer the license, if they'll allow you to transfer the license.
Or would it be like a co-developer thing or something like that? And they have to get a percentage.
Yeah, like there's a because from what all we know, like Telltale, after they get done with that episode, is supposed to shut down completely. So, like, there's a lot of question marks about stuff. Like, you're asking me, like, there's a lot of legalities and technicalities about how licenses work. I am not smart enough to tell you the shit because I am not a lawyer. So, we just have to wait and see, pretty much.
Right. Do you think it's I think that's the only thing they have to do is like those 25 people aren't going to be able to work on The Walking Dead. They're working on, Minecraft. So it like Telltale, could they oversee with that other developer and just give like some tips? Maybe. But like some people were thinking that Telltale was going to rehire all the employees back to do it. And I was like, they have no money, man. Like, and we'll go more into that lawsuit. But yeah, what do you think, Jigo, about this? Them handing it off.
I mean, it's good that people are going to get what they pay for. Because if it was me, I'd have been salty if they just canceled. But hey, we ran out of money. Sorry guys, but no, it's like I don't know, man. I never got into it after the first season, so.
Do you think, like, what publisher do you think would be the one or developer to, help them out? You think I say THQ Nordic, but that's just...
No, I say Ubisoft since they make Life is Strange.
Well,
they publish.
Well, no, it's not Ubisoft. That's Square Enix.
That's Square Enix.
Well, whoever make that, then just
don't not make them.
Yeah, had them do
it. But then won't Life is Strange 2 just be put on hold then?
No, they can. Like, my thing is, there's no in my opinion, once you transfer that license, you can just say until we finish what we're doing currently, which is Life is Strange Season 2. Until we finish that, that's on hold. As soon as we get done with that, we'll do Walking Dead Season 2.
Yeah. They're going to have to get, if it were to happen, they would have to get used to that engine too also. No,
the fuck they don't.
Unless they're going to change the art style.
I would be down for that.
Because like
Dang.
Telltale does the whole like Walking
Listen,
Dead
I
kind
want
of
a
like
good
style.
engine. I'm okay with waiting for a better engine because that
Yeah, that's
Telltale
true.
engine was
Yeah, no, I agree. I told you it was booty, and they were going to change it afterwards.
that engine is held together by gum and fucking duct tape.
Yeah, that's true. What about you, Marvel DC fan? What do you think about them handing off the development to somebody else?
Because, all right, the first time I saw this pop up, I was at a convention Saturday,
Mhm.
and when I got home, I read through everything that went out, and I was extremely upset because this was a developer that I liked a lot, had some really good games that I've enjoyed, and I was really looking forward to some of their upcoming projects, like Wolf Among Us, especially, was one of them. And I hope in some way that they could pass off Walking Dead to just finish that up. I don't know who they could pass it to, maybe like a THQ or something like that, but uh, I would love to see them finish what they start and have the fans satisfied with the final season, and but it's really upsetting.
Yeah. What about you, TLoU? What do you think about them handing it off?
It was inevitable with them handing it off. But in terms of if they're ever gonna bring another episode out, doesn't look likely. Does not look likely because there's too many shit that's going down currently.
When you're saying not making it, you're saying Telltale themselves, but them handing it off is
No,
a
no,
different
no.
story.
I mean, as a whole thing, because there's too much things going under, too much water under the bridge right now, to actually for them to be like, okay, can we make another episode and actually get through this problem? Doesn't look likely because
My
I mean,
thing
even
is they're not going to be paying people and stuff like that. That's the
no, no, I
thing.
know,
They hand,
I know, I
yeah.
know that, but I mean, in terms of finding someone to actually do the job, that is the hardest problem. They're looking for people to do it for them, and you think people are going to do it?
I don't know. They said potential people are already lined up for it.
Yeah, they had potential people in, but potential people are the potential people going to do it? That's the biggest question, and to simply reply to that is no, because
Well,
they
they're saying they didn't go out and ask. They said these people came to them for interest of finishing.
maybe who knows. But the thing is, I as the only thing I'll say is it's a long shot for them to actually get it out this year, though.
Well, they're
Finish it.
saying that they're supposed to have a firm announcement before the end of the week about this, about who would be doing this.
Sometimes it feels like somebody's lying to me.
They're definitely lying.
Right. So, but in terms of, because this is a segue now, but in terms of how this all propped up was basically down to poor sales, and they tried to brush out Batman, and apparently Batman season 2 didn't do really good compared to season 1. There was a lot of complaints about how season 2 ended, and people were like, "Oh, you know what? Batman season 1 was a little bit better than season 2." And Guardians of the Galaxy didn't do good either, so there was a mixture of that as well. And then the whole problem with the CEO, changing of the CEOs and shit. So there's all of that.
Well,
And
yeah,
now,
changing the CEO was to fix management because the other dude was pretty freaking bad, from what I
so
heard.
so
But it was too late. From
it was
like
too
Pete Howe
late.
could he tried.
You
but it was-
tried to, but it was already too late because the management they rushed it. I'm not gonna lie about it. They rushed season, the next game which they were gonna do. They rushed everything because they tried to they tried to rush out Batman. They'd be like, okay, we rush out Batman, then we can work on the Walking Dead, get that out there at the end of the year, and then we'll do the Wolf Among Us. And at the end of the day, they rushed it too quickly, and not knowing for a fact the reception they got was a bad reception, and not many people were really interested. in the Batman season 2, the way they handle the storyline and the way they handled each episode, it got worse and worse. And some of the episodes were worse, some of them were good. But at the end of the day, as a whole thing, as a whole package, it wasn't doing very well on sales. And that's very important. Important for development these days is the sales you get. And if you don't make profit from within these games, as a story base like Telltale, you're going to end up having problems coming in the future, which has happened, you see. And now, where they dropped down from 250 people to 25 people, it's a huge, huge problem. So where does that leave Telltale right now? Especially considering they have got a lawsuit to also deal with.
Yeah, which we'll talk about in a bit.
Yeah, with the lawsuit as well. So it kind of leaves them in a sticky situation where they're probably you will not see another. You might see another game from them, but that'll just be for the Walking Dead. But there won't be any more like Wolf Among Us, even though they said they were gonna have it. Even though they teased it, there won't be Wolf Among Us. There wouldn't be another Batman game, Guardians game. It's really sad to see something like this happen. But if they get bought out, they get bought out. And possibly they could come back in the future and do different IPs.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think.
Okay, so there was also a report saying how this came to be, like how Telltale just suddenly was like that day of, like had to fire so many employees. Let me make sure I have it. Make sure I have it. Okay, here. Gaps. Okay. So I'm going to quickly go with this one. So following the news last Friday that Telltale Games is shutting down, fans have been wondering how and why this happened so suddenly. According to a report yesterday, the culprit is a failed round of funding that Telltale's board was counting on to keep it above water. The company was working diligently to close a round of financing. Telltale co-founder Dan Connors told Variety, "Unfortunately, when the last potential financial backer abruptly pulled out, we were left in a position where we had no choice but to stop production. Sadly, everyone was so focused on doing what was required to keep the company going that when the last potential partner backed out, there were no other options." Connors wouldn't name the potential financer Telltale's was courting, but multiple sources told Variety that it may have been Lionsgate. It would have been the first time Lionsgate provided financial backing for Telltale. Lionsgate first invested in the studio in 2015, which eventually led to some strife with Telltale co-founder Kevin Brunner earlier this year, which was the whole thing with him about management stuff. Lionsgate 2015 investment is said to have been for $40 million and was made so that the two companies could create a super show that would combine playable content with scripted TV content. So, yeah. And that's potentially, yeah. I've heard also some things that it could have been EMC as well that backed out. And there were a lot of things going on. But yeah, after that backer backed, just left. It was it. There was no more money, and they had to let everything go, which was crazy. But that's crazy that the last backer backs out, everything is gone. Like, there's nothing to do. The funding is out, and they couldn't pay anybody, couldn't do anything with it. And it's like, for them, it's like that backer just kept giving money. And they're like, okay, we're good right now. We're good. But once that backer is done, it's over. Sentry, what do you think?
My bad. If I had to say anything, like when you have because first, if I recall correctly, Netflix backend didn't come through. If you have an issue like that, you should be trying to find alternate means of monetary investment ASAP. There shouldn't be an issue where you can't find backing.
Yeah.
And especially if you need to disclose that to the people in the company so it won't be a surprise. You owe that to them because these people are working for you. You can't hide something like that. That's the same thing Crytek did. We had the same issue with them. So it is what it is, but I'm not
Yeah.
like I can't feel remorse for the management who were inept.
Yeah, and there was also some things I was reading, like supposedly it was going good with the talks with. There was also like AMC and this other company that it was going good, and they like said to employees it was going good. And Thursday, when they backed down Thursday night, it was like what? That was crazy, and that was it. And I was like, wow, I did not think that would actually, happen from hearing that from what I was reading and stuff. It was like they thought to themselves like they were in a good position when they were getting those financial backers and hopefully securing that deal with the financial backer, and it didn't happen. It was like no, and now they couldn't pay their employees, and it's sad. What do you think about this, Jigga?
It sucks. Like, yeah, that's what I feel like. Our company just said come out and say sometimes when they're struggling, like just to let people know. Well, I guess that will suck. Cause then it's like most people won by the game, knowing that it's probably not going to get finished. But I don't know. But it does suck that like it just came out of nowhere. People just losing their job. Like now you got to go try to find. I mean, the game industry is like, if you get fired and you're good, you're gonna find some place else to work. So it's like I'm not really worried about that. But it sucks to be coming out of short notice. Like, yeah.
I got you. What do you think, Marvel DC fan?
I mean, honestly, I really got nothing on this topic.
What about you, TLoU?
The thing I can say is I forgot the question, by the way.
It was like the potential backer backing down, for the financial backer backing down, and they're like very certain. Like it seemed like the talks were really good for them. They were saying that, and they were like very confident. They were confident that this backer would totally invest, and they were just like just pulled out with like the last minute.
Yeah, I agree with Century. You got to have a backup person, like just in case this don't fall, just fall through. Like we got somebody backing up. Like we may need you just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with what Jigga said and Century said. You're gonna have to have a backup, somebody to actually purchase it. Like somebody, like as an example, let's say WB come in, swoops up Telltale and actually makes them like their prime owners of making games and shit. You're gonna need someone like that to actually support you.
Honest, my bad.
Go on.
Now, honest to God, when I was thinking about it, like you could have went to Valve, you could have went to a CD Projekt, well, their parent company. They would have bought you. You offered something.
Yeah, I
unique.
totally think if they were weren't an indie studio and they had a publisher, I think management would have been so much better.
Yeah, I agree, but it's just a faction of they're not the people that actually think they're not gonna support them now after everything that's happened. Nah, it's not gonna happen. The financials gonna be in ruins. Are they gonna be funded for many more games? No. So basically, this is the company that's gone bust, and it'll be down the line where we find out the real truth, like a few years down the line, like, oh, this is what happened with the studio, and the main reason why Walking Dead got put on hold, and why we didn't get Wolf Among Us season 2 and all of that. Just there'll be a video about it in the future years, just to talk, just basically explaining why this all shit happened. So yeah. But my idea is just that they need to have a backup. They don't have a backup, and it's ended up in disaster. So
okay. So there's one more thing, and this has to do with a employee at Telltale, or was an employee, a former employee, that Telltale is receiving a file action lawsuit against them by a former
it's to do with
breaking a California law, going to Make sure I have that law.
Are you wrong for termination suit and stuff like that?
Yeah. And supposedly, this all came because of, I think it was literally after the the interest of doing The Walking Dead again, and some of these employees were pissed off. So, a former Telltale's Games employee is filing a class action lawsuit against his former employer for reportedly breaking California labor laws in an attempt to properly compensate himself and the rest of its former employees that were laid off last Friday. As reported by Polygon, a former employee Vernie Roberts Jr. submitted a class action lawsuit on Monday, citing Telltale's violation of the Warren Work Adjustment and Refraining Notification Act for just cause of the lawsuit. According to the lawsuit, this violation should grant Roberts and the other terminated employees a collection of unpaid wages and benefits for 60 days following the violation. According to California's Employment Development Department website, the Warren Act protects employees, their families, and communities by requiring that employers give a 60-day notice to the affected employees prior to a plant closing or mass layoff. As this is a class action lawsuit, Roberts will be acting as plaintiff on behalf of himself and the rest of Telltale employees that were laid off last Friday, which, according to the lawsuit, was approximately 275 employees. The lawsuit claims that this number constitutes a mass layoff that, without being given at least 60 days prior written notice of their terminations without cause, Telltale is required to pay them their respective wages, salary, commissions, bonuses, accrued holiday pay, federal pension, and 401k contributions, other employees' benefits under ERISA, Employment Retirement Income Security Act, and paid their medical expenses for 60 days following the mass layoff.
I don't get why would you sue a company that has no money?
Because I think they thought that Telltale, this was literally after they showed interest in doing, figuring out a solution for the Walking Dead final season, that they thought that they had money to spend for it. And I don't think they realized that they were handing it off to another developer themselves. So it's like, and I guess they're Telltale or whoever's there will get money for said, whatever, get them selling it or whatever. But my thing is, it's like, I don't even think that is gonna help pay for anything else. Like, that's gonna be barely anything Telltale gets. So I mean,
I guess he's saying we want some of that, dog. I
guess.
I don't know.
My problem is, it's like I understand where they're coming from. It's like you got laid off unjustly without severance pay or anything like that, and I understand that. But it's like, also, what money can they get? That's the biggest thing, because what we heard from the reports is all this money that was coming from paying people was from the financial backers. And with them gone, they had no money. So it sounds like it's like they can do that and they have every right to do so. But also, we got to also think about this, that this lawsuit will take years to be done. Mm-hmm. It'll take, 5 to 6 years or something like that, these type of lawsuits. And then after that, it's like, it's just because it gets pushed to the side all the time. It's usually with these civil cases.
Yeah. Low-key, with cases like these, the only person who really wins is the lawyer.
Yep. And I've heard that comment a lot. I've seen that comment a lot. The lawyers will win, and no one's going to get anything. And that's the thing. It's like the lawyers are going to get paid the big bucks, and the lawyers are going to make off rich, and the people fighting against each other are going to lose even more.
Right. Do you mind if I give my thoughts on this?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So, first reason is I believe this is a stupid move by the former employee to firstly go to the lawsuit and get it all done, because you're not going to gain anything out of this. And
you might be losing more money than it's worth.
Yeah. And the second thing is, this is a whole Factor 5 thing all over again. where the employees got laid off
Mm-hmm.
because they weren't getting paid, and they
Yeah,
didn't
they
go to
didn't get their severance pay after
yeah.
being laid off.
Yeah, they got laid off and they were making, several games, and so basically it's a similar thing with Telltale, but the faction is they've gone through lawyers now, and it's not gonna it's gonna take forever for it to be resolved.
Yeah,
And
well, yeah, it'll take forever, and it won't. The court system
they might actually throw it out though. They might actually say, "Nah, fuck
yeah,
this."
that might be it's not worth it after it's going to take a while for them to go to court.
Yeah, and I think this is going to be thrown out within in the space of maybe a year or two. It'll be thrown out.
Yeah, because they're going to be paying lawyers like crazy, and it's like,
and it's like we haven't got. They'll be like, no, we haven't got time for that. Nobody's got time for that. So
yeah, because after Telltale, after the Minecraft stuff is over, and they hand that off to another developer, they're closing. They said that.
Yeah, as soon as they hand it off, that's it. You're screwed.
They're handing it off, and all Telltale is doing right now is literally out of obligation to Netflix, they have to finish that Minecraft story thing for Netflix, integrating it and shit. And that's it. And
the only thing I can actually see is the assets being handed over to another developer.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's happening. They're giving the engine, but that's what I'm saying. I think they have to use that engine. They have assets, and it's gonna be hard. Transitioning to episodes 3 and 4 with a brand new engine, it just won't be this part of the game in general. Then,
yeah. So my thoughts are just though at the end of the day, is now that it's just that Telltale is screwed, the former employees screwed. Basically, means we're out of luck with Telltale now, and they are ruined. And in terms of reputation, because they had a very good reputation for the last 2 years, right?
Yeah, I mean now they're gone. They're gonna be gone.
Now they've gone. They've lost everything they had, all the reputation, everything. The employees, where else they're gonna go? They can't go to another studio. So
the devs did come together. A lot of the developers like Naughty Dog, Guerrilla Games, 343. Blizzard. I think I'm forgetting some more. Those were the studios I've seen that said, "Hey, we're hiring. If people are affected from Telltale games, make your way over here." I've seen, a lot of, and Ubisoft too, do that, and that makes me happy that at least they're getting the option or getting that opportunity to get another job.
Right. Yeah, but that's my thoughts though. Anyway, for the whole Telltale situation.
Mm-hmm. Marvel DC fan, what do you think about the whole class action lawsuit from the former employee?
I mean, this is just like kicking somebody when they're down. This is just bad. So I mean, the only thing I'm hoping for is maybe this case gets dismissed because but I mean, but this isn't really making the whole situation any better. So hopefully the case is dismissed, and yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What about you, Sentry?
Lord have mercy. I'm gonna be honest. It's kind of you hope somebody win it. At the same time, it's I hope you win just off of the moral principle. You know what I mean? I want them to win based off of the morals and not doing that to people. But at the same time, you'll get nothing out of it.
And you probably lose a lot more money.
Yeah, it's kind of like in Counter-Strike when you're up a bunch of rounds and every round you're buying, so you're losing money by winning. So yeah.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's is it worth it? What Jig has said is true. Who wins out of this whole situation are the lawyers. Well, they're going to be getting paid a lot.
Not so much the Telltale lawyers. They know they're broke.
Oh yeah, but the freaking former employees lawyers, they're going to be getting it. And my thing is how are you going to pay for that lawyer too? It's you're already
at this point. I look at it like this. So the case pretty much, if it goes all the way.
It'll be years, though.
Yeah, true. Whatever. But like that at that point, like it can be used. It doesn't like that doesn't matter off the fact that based off of the evidence presented, they'll win the case 9 times out of 10.
Yeah, they'll win. Yeah, I agree with that. They'll win, but like
you won't get no money out of it.
Yeah. That's the thing. It's like I think they thought that they were getting money. Like they thought that Telltale was gonna hire more employees to develop that Walking Dead final season.
I don't even think it's that. I think it's like when you get fired, well, not even fired, when you get dropped like that, it's shock. It's not
shock, but like you do have to admit though, out of coincidence, that this lawsuit came right after the couple hours after the statement that was showed the Walking Dead interest.
Yeah, like I would chalk it up to shock and anger more so than like premeditation or like anger about you would be more
I think
shocked.
they were mad because like this probably was a person that worked on The Walking Dead, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna hire other people now, and all this stuff, and where are you getting this money to do that?" It's like they didn't know what was going on, what Telltale was doing, that they were gonna give it off to somebody else. But
I think that Telltale themselves could have been more clear to their former employees about what's going on, but hey.
I think like initially it was supposed to be canceled until people were like, "Yo, don't cancel this. Don't cancel this.
Yo, we got season passes, bitch. Where the fuck you going?"
Yeah, exactly. And then like and then potential developers and partners or whatever publishers are like, "Yo, we can take that off your hands. And we'll finish it. Just give us the assets and the script and we'll be done." And they're like, "All right, we got to choose." And, hopefully by the end of the week, like they said, you get a firm answer. But like you said, it's like I can understand out of more principle to go with the lawsuit, but I just don't think it's worth it. Spending so much money, and you are out of a job, and just to fight Telltale, and you're gonna win, but you're gonna get nothing, and the lawyer gets a bunch of money because you're paying that lawyer to do all this for years. But that's just me. I think this was a great podcast episode. We had some laughs. We had some serious times. We had Jigga being a casual gamer like usual.
Oh, man.
You still need a Tic Tac, bro.
Wait, what? Oh, man. Spooky, bro.
But we are going to do our outro here. So
yeah, we're going to do the outros. Yeah.
Jigga, tell us where your Twitter handle, what you do, and, good stuff.
Oh, man. Well, it's Jigga, the best gamer on this podcast. If you want to see me, you can catch me on Twitch and YouTube, Jigga April. And you can also check me out on Twitter, Jigga April, but that's dead. So go there at your own risk.
Okay. Sentry, where can I find you?
You can find me at Usual Suspects Podcast, also on Twitter and fucking Twitch at CentryXJ. Also, by default, I'm the best gamer here because I'm the only person to beat 5,000 plus games. Jigga, you don't come close, bitch.
Right, and Marvel DC fan, where can they find you? Twitter and everything.
Well, my YouTube channel, of course, Marvel DC Fan X99 on YouTube. You can follow me on Twitter, which is at Marvel DC Fan X99. And then there's also my Facebook, which is Marvel DC Fan on Facebook.
Awesome.
So,
You can find your boy Teladia Plays, which is at mteladia. You can also find me on Twitch, which is twitch.tv/Teladia Plays. You can also find me on YouTube, which is just straight Teladia Plays. I'll be doing videos coming soon. We'll be talking about a lot of YouTube videos, which is to do with comic books and games and stuff like that. It'd be awesome to do. And that's pretty much it. But make sure you if you enjoyed this podcast, make sure you leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and that's it.
Yep, and also make sure to follow me at Redhood240. If you haven't already, you should, because I'm like the best charismatic man out of the whole universe. No, I'm just kidding. As well as come over to my Twitch channel. We're playing some Kingdom Hearts, playing some God of War. The top tier games that many gamers should be playing. And make sure to follow. That helps me out, and as well as make sure to follow everyone here as well. These guys are great, and we had a fantastic episode. And
I heard the Red Hood's a gaming god, unlike the other gaming god.
I don't go saying like that. BG is just a bum in general. Man is always a bum at Quake. I proved him wrong. Like, and the dude likes to run away when he's faced with some conflict. Dude likes to bolt. Dude likes to snipe. But I'm just gonna pipe down. But I hope you guys found that entertaining. Make sure to leave your comments section. Comments in the comment section about what you liked, what you didn't like, and also make sure as well, just to reiterate, to go over to Sentry's The Usual Suspects. We're going to be on at 6 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you guys for everyone showing up, and see you guys next week. Peace.
Oh,